the MODUS Super Series, brought to you in association with Bet365, Betfair, Betfred, Coral, Ladbrokes, Paddy Power, Unibet and William Hill.
Good evening and welcome to finals night here at the MODUS Super Series. 12 players have battled it out all week in order to fight for the right to compete for the £5,000 prize and, of course, a place in Champions Week. Chris Mason alongside me. Just to start with, how much resilience have a number of these players already had to show just to make it through to tonight's action?
Yeah, Gavin Carlin especially. He had a nightmare start on Monday in Group A. Eventually, by Wednesday, won 4 out of 5, had a nightmare start on Thursday in Group C, and then replicated what he did yesterday. And fortunately for him, it was more than enough, and he took his place in tonight's final. It
was indeed. Before we tuck into tonight's action, then, let's have a little reminder of some of the highlights from each of the players involved tonight. Jelle Klaasen has taken out 13 ton-plus finishes so far this week, including the biggest one of all. He reeled in the big fish in Group A on Tuesday. Gavin Carlin found himself rock bottom of Group C table at the halfway stage, but won 4 out of 5 yesterday. His improvements at the back end of legs, the key for him. Darryl Pilgrim has a knack of doing what it takes to reach finals nights. He's got a check-out percentage of 33% for the week so far, and will certainly feel he can be more clinical. As for Arron Monk, his impressive temperament has been a big talking point this week. He's also treated us to many moments of magic, including a bull 5-bull 105 and, of course, this 160. Reigning and defending Super Series champ of champs, Conan Whitehead equalled the venue record average last night, a 115.62 in a 4-0 win over Dan Reed. He's been relentless on his return. Does another title await? Colin Osborne was the first to book his spot at finals night, winning 11 games in Group A. He was Mr. Consistency at the start of the week. He will hope for that same level of consistency here this evening. The question is, Chris Mason, will he be able to deliver that same standard over the course of another finals night?
He might need to up it a little bit in the overall standard, but a little mention for Conan Whitehead. Had he hit double 19 on the 98 in leg 3, he actually would have had a new record of 120.24. As it was, he just ended up with a pretty ordinary 115 odd.
Yeah, 2 players have already done that at this venue. It's nothing to write home about at all, is it? We can have a look then at the draw brackets, Group 1 and 2 for tonight. Group 1, Colin Osborne, of course, as we mentioned, the UK Open runner-up in 2009, Darryl Pilgrim, and Gavin Carlin also in that one. But Group 2, exhilarating, explosive, exuberant, and that's just Conan Whitehead, really, isn't it? The other 2 in there as well. Who on earth do you see coming out of that group?
To be honest, you might as well just put the 3 names in 2 hats and just pick one out of each, because I could stand here for an hour and make a claim for every single person in it. It's imperative to make a good start in this. We've seen it so many times where someone's just not got out of the blocks quick enough and left himself too much to do in what effectively is round 2. Conan Whitehead will go into this as favourite, a proven winner up there of a weekly title and a proven winner of the Champions Week. So, yeah, I expect him to be the winner, but I can make a claim for Pilgrim, Colin Osborne, Jelle, Arron, even Gavin Carlin. He's won one of these weeks, so he knows what it takes.
Was that a little flinch from the splinters there, or are you feeling all right?
Well, it's not like me. I normally, I'll just, I'll go in 2 feet deep, but yeah, the one you have to sort of go with is the obvious choice in Conan Whitehead, especially how he played at 1 a.m. last night with that 115.64.
And I am, of course, joking because it is so tight in these groups. Let's have a little look then at the averages for all of the players for this week. As you mentioned, Conan Whitehead, no surprise to see him with the highest overall average, especially given his performances yesterday. And I think one of the standout things for him, I spoke to him a little earlier on, and he just said, I'm not feeling any pressure. I'm so happy away from darts. I'm enjoying it again. But the one thing that really stood out to me, he's got a little girl now, and he said, the reason that I'm playing so well is because I want to do things for her. I want her to look up to me when she's a little bit older. And that's the key for him.
Yeah, I think if you look at sports psychology, that's one element of overcoming pressure situations. You focus on something totally different and away from it. And I think winning the 25,000, 5,000 for winning the week, and then the 20,000 for winning Champions of Champions, it's given him a bit of freedom. It's taken a bit of pressure off. He can focus purely on darts. And a lot of the time, you focus on what's the prize money. He doesn't have to worry about that now. And as you know, he does like a trophy.
He certainly does. He does actually collect trophies, so will he have another to add to the collection after tonight? We will wait to see, of course. First up tonight, we have got Colin Osborne against Gav Carlin, and Nico caught up with both of them prior to this session getting underway.
Ozzy, welcome to finals night here in week 4. You won Group A, obviously a fantastic campaign. You've had a couple of days off. How are you feeling ahead of tonight?
I feel great, Paul. Like you say, I come in Monday. It was a tough group. You know, I managed to get through on the Wednesday. I've had a couple of days rest, so yeah, I'm all keyed up, ready to go tonight.
It's been an interesting couple of seasons for you. A lot of success in Southampton in 2021. A bit more up and down in 2022, but you seem to be moving in the right direction this week.
I think just in general, Paul, like you say, I'm in a good place at the moment, you know, and especially with the Super Series, you know, and the MODUS in Southampton. Probably not produced as much, obviously, playing the Challenge Tour. But no, I say I'm in a good place, you know, and the darts seem to be going in where I want them to go.
How do you feel ahead of tonight? Because we do have quite a few people who have won on a Saturday night before. And is it on your mind that now you want to win here because you did win in the previous venue?
If I'm honest and true to myself, I am due one, to be fair. But I've played this game a long time, Paul, and I know as well as anybody, you know, if my darts go tonight, I'll win. If they don't, then, you know, it is what it is.
Have a very successful night, and all the best to you, Colin.
Cheers, Paul.
Gavin, welcome to Saturday night. Does this feel a bit unexpected, considering what happened in Group C?
Very unexpected. On Thursday, I was that disappointed whenever I went back to the hotel. I actually booked the flight for this morning, and I have one booked for tomorrow, so...
So that must be a flight that you're happy to miss.
Very happy to miss that one.
Obviously, you've won on this hockey before. Does coming back to Saturday night bring back some good memories?
Oh, it definitely does. Hopefully I can do the same again.
How are you feeling about your form? Because you've had a couple of times this week where your form has started to trend in the right direction, but you've given yourself a lot to do on the last days of the groups. It's all about getting a good start tonight, isn't it?
Oh, definitely is. Tonight, more or less knockout. I know I haven't been playing well all week, but hopefully my form's coming at the right time.
Well, have a great Saturday night, and I hope you get yourself a second title tonight. Good luck.
Good man, thank you.
In Group A, their head-to-head is 2-1 in Colin's favour, but all 3 meetings have ended 4-2. Of course, we saw a very different Gav Carlin yesterday, though, and as we said a little earlier, he needs to get out of the blocks a lot quicker tonight than he did in Groups A and C. So then, our first match of finals night. Let's get it underway in the company of Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason.
Thank you very much, Abby, and welcome to Saturday Night Darts here in Portsmouth. And welcome back to the man from the borough, the 47-year-old who has won with us before, but he hasn't won under this roof, but this man has, and not that long ago. Good memories for him when he won that week. So he's 100% under this roof when he comes here on a Saturday night. He was part of the Champions Week at the end of Super Series 1. Aussie is looking to make Champions Week of Super Series 2, as is his opponent. Tonight is the night to get yourself there for week 13. Your referee tonight,
first leg, it's Colin the throw
is Marco
first.
Meyer.
Game on.
I'm going to say that doesn't look like Charlie.
Welcome, Mace. This is going to be an interesting night. 9 matches.
Yeah, I just speaking to Abby, I can literally make a genuine case for all 6, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Don't forget, if you ever want to join us on a Saturday night
41
in Portsmouth at the Modus Live Lounge, it's completely free. It's a real unique venue. Just register your interest at dartshop.tv and get yourself down here. Have a night at the darts.
Big welcome to everybody tuning in on Sporty Stuff TV tonight, and to everybody on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel tuning in internationally. If you are watching along,
80.
I'm sure you are getting this message. Get in touch with us and let us know where you're watching from. It'd be great to hear from you. And who are you cheering for? Because tonight we have a plethora of weekly champions from previous weeks. Now, this is Group 1. We have 3 players in Group 1. We've got Colin, Osborne and Pilgrim. All 3 have won a weekly title. And in total, they have won 4. There have been 5 wins in Group 2, and they're all by the same person, in Conan Whitehead. So interpret that how you wish.
44.
Well, first max of the night goes to Colin Osborne. I was actually working out today the different platforms of
100.
where people can
Colin, you
tune in to
require
watch the
80.
darts tonight. I counted 12 in the end.
Welcome to the 21st century.
I know. One program on 12 different platforms. I have to say,
Yeah, it has
Colin
came short in the
Osborne
first
on the
lap.
finishing
Colin
in
Osborne.
Group A was absolutely mustard at times. He's just so good around. You can't
Second
really
leg, it's
fluster him.
Gavin to throw first. Game
Yeah,
on.
looking at the stats for the week for these two, Colin played for 3 days. Gavin's played for 5. And if you look at the amount of games that Gavin has
27.
played equally with Arron Monk, they've played the most in 25 games of best of 7 darts. But Osborne played 15. His checkout percentage for the week was 36.3%, which is very, very capable. He's got 2 maximums already tonight to add to the 19 he's already had in the first 3 days. His likelihood of getting maxes is very good.
134.
As good as Pilgrim and Whitehead, who have been dipping their bread quite a lot this week.
Yeah, incredibly. Gavin Carlin was on 19 for the week.
78.
The same as Colin Osborne in terms of 180s, higher than any other player. But that's now gone to 21 as we speak.
77.
It's really nice to chat to Colin a little bit earlier on tonight to see how he's feeling ahead of this challenge. And if you've been watching with us for the last couple of years, Colin's played a lot of games.
140.
Yep.
A lot of games. More than anybody else this year and in total. If you think about his
57.
all-time
Colin, you
career,
require
when he
103.
plays his second group game tonight, it will be his 350th game.
Is it only Martin that's played more?
I believe that's the case.
Wow.
41.
Made a little bit of a mess of that, but Gavin Carlin back on 206. If you're joining us for the first time, these players have all qualified by 3 groups. A is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. B is Thursday, Friday night, and C is Thursday, Friday morning. The 6 qualifying players divided into 2 groups of 3. They play each other once. The top 2 make up our semi-finals.
Bullseye would make up a 2-0 lead.
37.
Talking of 2s,
Gavin, you
2 points for a win,
106.
and leg difference will count. And then if it goes past that, it will be legs 1.
Abacus at the ready.
And then it's the 9-dart shootout, which I've been involved in. Very unpleasant.
Yeah, I've commentated on one. You played in one.
70.
Well, I'm not sure Gavin
Colin, you
Carlin
require
meant to leave
25.
double 18 there. I think he was going for a 6 for tops because his tops shooting has been something extraterrestrial this week.
My apologies. Those 19 180s for
Yeah, that's
Carlin
game
was
short
just
in the
in
second leg. Colin
Group A,
Osborne.
the same as Colin. So he has many 180s in Group A as Colin.
Third leg, it's Colin to
Left it a
throw
little
first.
bit late. He did win
Game
4 out of
on.
5 on Wednesday.
Did the same on Friday, didn't he?
Yep.
Qualifying by 1 leg better than Kevin Painter in the Group C table. Like he said in his interview, he'd even booked his flight home because he didn't think he'd qualify.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
That's a good little story to tell people when he gets back.
37.
If you think about Gavin Carlin's win in Super Series 1, that was against Josh Payne in week 10. on a night that included the likes of Mike Warburton, Lucas Venig, Thibaut
121.
Tricol, who narrowly missed out in a World Championship qualifier today to Jose Justicia. So commiserations to Thibaut.
140.
But Gavin was really good that night. He had a 170 on that Saturday night as well. But we have to go all the way back towards the start of the year when we used to have the
45.
4 weekly phases. And in week 4 at the start of the year, around about February time, that was Colin's last weekly win when he beat Lisa Ashton on a night that involved
134.
the likes of Jim McEwen, who's already qualified for Champions Week.
I did the comms that week. I remember it well.
But he has got 2 weekly titles and an incredible amount of visits to
85.
Saturdays. This will feel very familiar and yet a little bit alien because this is his first Saturday night in this venue.
Yep. Well, 70 left.
138. Colin, you require 115.
He did behave very well. I'm just looking at his stats from Group C, which is how he qualified for tonight. Gavin Carlin, he had 6 180s, 6 ton plus outs, all the 6s.
77.
Had a running average of 88.92.
Gavin, you require 52.
And his running average in Group A wasn't too bad either.
No, it was nearly 88.
Double top. Oh, we haven't
32.
seen him on double 10 that much this
Colin,
week
you
because he's been
require
so good on
38.
I was
tops.
going to say, it was irresistible. He had the 131 with the tops, didn't he? The 140, had treble 20 tops.
Yeah, one game he was 100% on double top because he hit it 4 times on top of hitting it on approach to tops. Double 8
22.
would have given Colin a
Gavin, you
3-0 lead.
require
Didn't we have
20.
9 doubles in 7 legs? And only 1 dart missed a double.
Honestly, defying mathematics this week sometimes. And because that dart was not to the liking of Gavin, he decides to step back. I like that show of experience because then he was able to brush it aside and get himself in this match.
And he has got himself in the match with a 17 dart break
Forward
of
luck,
throw.
it's Gavin to throw first. Game on.
Can quickly become 2-2 with a decent leg. But he has just got out the block slow
60.
in the opening of Group A and Group C. He's got to hit the stage running tonight.
Yeah, Colin's got this reputation playing
60.
in the MODUS Super Series of starting well. He always seems to peak himself really well for his first challenge. Oh, look how good that 180 is. That's an extraordinary talent that Gavin has with those tapered barrels to get them so close together.
I tell you, it was brilliant last week. Andy Hamilton
67.
in all of his opening matches. I think his average in opening games going into the Saturday night final was around 95.
57.
Again, that comes from the experience of playing so frequently on television.
Yeah, if you haven't tuned in already, we have 3 players already qualified for the Champions Week, which takes
44.
place in February. And week 1 was won by Jim McEwen over Scott Walters. Week 2, Alexander Merckx against Robert Rickwood. So commiserations to Robert.
140.
And Justin Smith beating Martin Adams in the final last week. I know how much that meant to Justin. So the young man from Southwest Wales has found his way to week 13.
Yeah, it was Andy Hamilton and
100.
Thibaut Tricol
Gavin, you
missing out
require
last
64.
Saturday night in the semis. So we can, when can we do next week's lineup?
Oh, it's a little bit later.
That's
oh,
Game
look.
Short in the forward line.
That's a bit
Gavin
familiar.
Carlin.
Honestly, I get the feeling that he could probably hit that double with his eyes closed sometimes.
Fifth flag, it's Colin to throw first. Game
Yeah,
on.
sorry, not last week's lineup, next week's lineup.
I know last week's lineup.
Actually, you have got the privilege tonight of being on the balcony with Abby to announce it before the final.
42.
Lovely.
You've got the power.
I might just make an executive decision.
140.
really like next week's lineup.
Yeah. International flavour.
Did I say it was 5 different nationalities on Monday morning, 9:30 a.m.
140.
Who's in comms next week? It's Glenn Dorrant and
Matthew Edgar, I believe.
Matthew Edgar, it is.
96.
Oh, I was getting 20 questions from Glenn this afternoon. Where can I park? Is there an iron? It's going to take him a while to get down. He's probably leaving now.
He might pass Colin on the motorway.
180.
That is a fabulous 180 from Colin Osborne.
Colin,
His third of the contest
139.
to get him to a finish first, but he's got company. And Carlin's got the slightly easier out. Having said that...
I love that shot. There's just something nice about
Gavin, you require 132.
the treble 19 to ball. It just feels so natural.
Speaking of which, if Carlin gets a 25, he'll be looking for that exact combo.
Probably because we use it so much on the 82, isn't it?
Uh-oh. The guide was so good on the ball.
60.
Looked perfect, didn't it?
Colin,
It
you
really
require
did.
40.
Now, we've got two guys here who like tops. Osborne's not too shabby at it either.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
game
What a
short in the
pearler
fifth
that is for a
round.
3-2
Colin
lead.
Osborne.
Yeah, 13 dart hold.
Yeah,
Six
fascinating
flag gives
night's
Gavin
action.
the
And
throw
these guys
first.
know
Game on.
that if you get off to a poor start, if you were to lose your first game heavily, you really are behind the 8 ball. Here's the formula if you want to guarantee your way through then. If you can get 2 points
180.
and a positive leg difference after 2 matches, you will be safe. That's just how it works. Failing all else, just win both of your group games.
96.
We've had 5 180s in this first match of the night. Setting the tone, I would say. These two, a
134.
really good contest. And I don't think the averages really reflect how good it's been so far.
Yeah, and we mentioned how good Colin is on tops. He's 1 out of 3.
140.
1 out of 2 on 10. So when he does miss tops, he finds the double 10. And staggeringly, the 3 times he's ended up on double 5 in Group A, he's hit it 2 out of 3 times.
99.
So plan B's working.
And C.
Well, plan A went to plan when he won Group A this week. 22 points. That's a very healthy total. He actually
95.
co-owns
Gavin, you
the
require
record
88.
for Group A of 28 points with Jim McEwen. Well,
Was that the week where on finals night he got edged out by when it was down to averages when all the points were level?
it might have been.
I think it was.
I'm just a little bit flustered as to why Gavin Carlin went for treble 16 on 88 with 3 darts.
25.
Why
Colin, you
would you do
require
that?
170.
Why would you rob yourself of the opportunity of a shot at the bull if you don't get a treble? I think he may be a bit lost up there in that moment. He may have been thinking, I am hitting tops so much that I want to have 2 darts at it.
Well, just to back that up, in Group C, Gavin Carlin, 51.43%
130.
on tops.
So he's
Gavin,
hitting
you
it
require
more than he's missing
63.
it.
Yeah. And that's not including the double-double shots we've seen many of from him.
Over to you, Gavin. We've just set it up for you.
43.
And that's probably his worst shot at tops this week. And how ironic that Osborne's
you
sitting there on
require
tops
40.
to dump him out of Game 1. Game 1 of Group 1 for a 4-2 win to be in a very good position ahead of his second group game later against Darryl Pilgrim. Plan B.
20.
Honest, I didn't make up those stats.
Gavin, you require
They are
20.
real. Well, he's been so good on tops in Group C. He's only had 6 goes at double 10 and he's hit 2 of them.
He's got every right
No
to feel
score.
disappointed there.
Yeah.
Osborne gets a
Colin,
second
you
bite of the
require
cherry. He's
20.
already missed 3 match darts. Just don't know how valuable this could be to win by 4 legs to 2.
Game,
That's exactly
shot,
what he's done.
And a match.
It's a good
Colin
performance from
Osborne.
Osborne, and the averages in that game were extremely similar. But Osborne always seemed to be in command, but he did dodge a few bullets in that one. Colin knows that getting early points is a very good sign. He'll have a quite a sizable break now, actually, because his next game will be in game number 5 against Darryl Pilgrim. Gavin Carlin will take on Pilgrim in match 3. But before we get there, we will divert our attention to Group 2, and we will see the defending champ, Conan Whitehead, the favourite for tonight. He's up against Jelle Klaasen in game 2 after the break.
Welcome back to the live lounge here in Portsmouth, where Colin Osborne has just picked up the first win of this evening session, a 4-2 victory for him in that one. He was Mr. Consistency, wasn't he, in Group A, and he started that one in superb fashion as well. A 15-dart holder throw in the opening leg. Carlin missed a dart at double for a 106 in the next, and Osborne punished. Carlin, determined not to get off to another bad start this week, fought his way back into the contest, but much like earlier in the week, missed darts at double proved costly for him in that one. Just 2 out of 9 on the outer ring in that one. So now attention turns to Group 2, and it is, of course, Conan Whitehead, the reigning and defending champion of champions here at the Super Series, up against Jelle Klaasen. They have, of course, met twice already this week. It is 1 apiece in the head-to-head. Conan Whitehead getting a whitewash victory on Thursday before Jelle Klaasen got the better of Conan Whitehead last night. And Paul Nicholson caught up with Conan a little bit earlier on.
Hi, Conan. Another Saturday night, another chance to get another title. This is becoming a regular gig for you, isn't it?
Well, I told you I'd be here Saturday, and here I am. So it's going to be hard tonight. It's a very, very tough field tonight.
Yes, it is. But you've been through so many of these groups now. You must be feeling confident of becoming maybe the most successful player that the Super Series has ever had.
Well, even if I don't do that tonight, I will be the most successful player in this series. I'm telling you now.
Do you think a lot of people could take some inspiration from what you've done over the last few weeks? Because the amount of confidence that you exude before a night, does that help you to be confident when you come up here?
Yeah, I mean, the way I play is I feed off my own confidence, like you say. And I go up there, I don't fear anyone. It's just, the better that my opponent plays, the better I will play.
One last question, and is there anything that you haven't done yet with us that you still want to do? Because you did equal the venue average record last night, so let us know what you've got under your sleeve.
There's two things I want to do. I want to hit a 9 darter up here, and I want to hold the record for the highest average.
Well, there you have it. Tonight could be the night. Good luck, Conan.
Hopefully. Cheers, Bill.
Jelle, welcome to Saturday night here at the Modus Live Lounge. I've got to ask you, you must be exhausted because you've played how many days now consecutively?
5, but no, I feel good. I love the evening session, so I was happy to play Thursday and Friday evening.
Many congratulations for winning in Ireland last week. I know that that means a lot to you because you've won in both the WDF system and the PDC system in that town. But how much do you want to add to your tally tonight by winning here?
Yeah, tonight would be, I think if you play the whole week, you really want to win it. So, and today it feels more like a knockout, and I'm always better in knockout. Yesterday felt like knockout as well, and I can focus a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to the games tonight.
We spoke with Conan Whitehead about him setting a personal best average on this hockey yesterday. You did exactly the same. So do you think there's more in the tank?
I know there's more in the tank, but it's all... I haven't been really great at the doubles, so I think if my scoring and finishing come together, I can break records. But yeah, we'll just have to find out if that's going to happen.
Good luck tonight. All the very best.
Thank you.
Yeah, Conan Whitehead last night rounded off the action in Group B in the most scintillating manner, didn't he? A joint venue record average of 115.62 to whitewash Dan Reed. He missed 2 at double towards the back end of that one as well, so it could have been even higher. As for Jelle Klaasen, he was at his most consistent last night. What will he produce in this one? Let's hand back to Mason Nico to find out.
Yeah, this is a mouth-watering game, Abby. And I'm sure there are plenty of people tuning in from around the world and around the UK wondering who is going to come through this absolutely amazing group. Group 2, when it was put together last night, we all just dropped our microphones and rolled our eyes as if to say, wow, pick any two from these three, because it's Monk, it's Klaasen, it's Whitehead. There's experience, there's explosiveness. Oh, we've got Marco Meyer being the referee to try and separate them. He's got to sheriff the stage, but it's over to the players to see who will top and who will get the second place, and one of them is going to go home early, Mace.
Yes, it is. I don't want to...
First leg, it's Conan to throw first.
I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up with a 9-dart shootout. Because Conan, the last time he stood on that stage, was a double 19 away from beating a record that dates back to January of 2021.
Yeah. The very first week when we were in the studio in Southampton, Jason Askey registered an average in excess of 118. That record still stands.
100.
The venue record here is now co-owned by Cam Crabtree, Connor Heenahan, and Conan Whitehead. They've all had 4-0 victories, delivering 52 darts. Now, if Conan had hit the double 19, he would have had an average of 120.24.
66.
And it would have been 49 darts, would it?
Yeah.
Wow.
He would have been the first person to break that magical 120 barrier here at the MODUS Super Series. These guys want to set their own records, but you heard from Klaasen in that interview before we began. He wants to play knockout darts. This is his second Saturday night with us, but his first one here. The last time, all he could do was make the semi-finals.
68. Conan, you require 156.
Going to have to take out the 156. He's going to find himself a break of throw down. He did say
97.
with some confidence, the better
Yellow,
my
you require
opponent plays,
32.
the better I will play. Well, he may get his opportunity. Oh,
16.
You cannot afford to do that.
Conan, you require 59.
I think he knows it too. Double top.
Yeah, that's game short in the first
Point
leg.
proven.
Conan Whitehead.
Give him scraps,
Well,
and he'll make a meatloaf out of it.
in that final game last night against Dan Reed,
Second leg, it's Yellow to throw
Conan Whitehead in the
first.
scoring
Game
phase,
on.
didn't have one troublous visit in the 4 legs. Went out in
140.
15, missed double 19 for an 11, and then went out in 12 in the 4th leg.
Well, here's a strange turn of events. We can talk about the fact that there's only been one game between that 115 average from last night and this game between these two. Now, interestingly, when Conan was playing against Dan Reed, Jelle Klaasen was hoping that Conan would win. He did. That win got Jelle here. Fast forward to
100.
this right now, not really looking at Conan the same way.
No. Ironically, that match that is in between was by Dan Reed, wasn't it? The 117 average.
180.
I had a feeling that maybe there would be 180s in this game.
60. Yellow, you
It
require
wasn't part of my
81.
tips for the night. We'll get into that in due course, but Klaasen is looking for the equaliser on the bull,
Yeah,
and that's what he finds in 12
leg.
darts. This is an
Jelle
explosive
Klaasen.
start in what we thought was a very, very good group. They're proving to deliver.
Well, he left a double after 12 in the last
Third
one,
leg,
didn't he?
it's going to the throw first.
Failed.
Game on.
He missed double 8, didn't he?
60.
It's an interesting atmosphere here tonight. We do have some fans here in the crowd, but one thing I will say is that if you haven't played here before on a Saturday night,
135.
you will have to get used to the fact that any noise will be heard.
Well, the players are more than used to that, but of course they've been playing in perfect conditions for the best part of a week. Klaasen at the moment, as we're
96.
well into leg 3, is averaging 110.64. And it should be higher. Only
100.
1 out of 4 on the doubles.
Their routes to this point. Klaasen was third in Group B.
40.
He was pitched against Whitehead, who won that group. Klaasen earlier in the week was second in Group A, but he wasn't really close to winning that one. He was 6 points adrift. So
85.
no real disappointment in getting 2 days off ahead of Saturday night, which is what Osborne got. But what Jelle would like to do is have the same sort of start on Saturday night as Colin.
140. Going
was
to
a really
require
good start from
116.
Whitehead loves this finish. Double top.
Yeah, that's
Fabulous.
game short in the third
And the
leg.
reason he
Conan
likes that
Whitehead.
finish is because he can do that. Or the other way, which gives him his favourite double 18.
Forward leg, it's Yellow to throw first. Game on.
I had a little bit of a laugh with Conan earlier in the week, actually. We were talking about things
140.
that you could possibly get as a fringe benefit if you win a Super Series. And I somewhat comically said, oh, well, maybe
60.
for 13 weeks in the next Super Series, we can call it the Conan Whitehead Arena. And he said, his eyes lit up as if to say, can we make that happen?
180.
Well, you mentioned how good he was on top. So he's 2 out of 2, and he's needed to be.
125.
Hey, not kidding. Let's have a look at these stats, because they make for quite funny reading at this point.
65.
Jelle's 2-1 down, averaging 111. 14 more than his opponent. Yeah, I've said it once, I'll say it again.
60.
Averages
Yellow, you
can lie
require
to you.
116.
Conan on tops this week, 46.15%.
88.
Ordinarily, we'd say that's amazing, but it's not as good as Gavin Carlin.
Oh. Here's another one.
125.
That's another 125 because he had one earlier in the leg. It's 2-2.
Short in the fourth lap.
Fabulous
Jelle
game of
Klaasen.
darts. Enjoyed by many here at the Modus Live Lounge.
Yeah, there was a bit of a pattern in that.
Fifth leg, it's Conan to throw
Conan.
first. Game on.
60, 125, 60, 125.
85.
That's got to be regarded as a bit of a mistake. The standard of play in this game at the moment.
93.
Well, it wasn't massively punished, was it?
It's been a profitable few weeks for Conan. Obviously, he banked £20,000 for Super Series 1 and that win.
94.
But if Klaasen was to bank the £5,000 winner's check tonight, he'd be somewhere very, very close
140.
to 5 figures for the week.
Yeah, exactly, yes. I was going to say, it's very nearly a 10 grand a week. Couldn't live on it myself, but there you go.
60.
You're more of a 25. Yeah, 25 grand a week kind of guy.
For the weekend.
101.
It's all those bottles of Chablis you like, you know, vintages.
Yeah, I do like a Chablis.
I'll have the 67 Montrachet, please.
128.
After winning
Jelly, you
week
require
12, I think I might
167.
treat myself to a nice bottle of Chablis on Christmas Day to go with my pre-Christmas dinner pate.
42. Conan, you require
Honestly,
134.
you've got to make your own pate, mate.
I know. Well, we're gonna have to. The next time we're both staying in the house,
58.
I'll bring my
Yellow, you require
blender thingy,
125.
we'll do some pate.
I'll get some chicken livers for you. Oh, Klaasen got the line right there, but the length, not so much. Good recovery.
72 left. Just
69.
48. But
Conan, you
there's pressure on
require
this now.
76.
Double 8. Big dart.
68.
First start, he's missed at doubles
Yellow,
in
you
the
require
match.
56.
Oh, this is huge for Klaasen. It's a break of throat.
Yeah,
Monstrous. And look how good it was as
Jelle
well.
Klaasen.
Right in the middle. And he might just replicate what Osborne did in game 1.
Sorry, Paul.
6
Prior to those
targets, Yellow to
missed
throw
doubles, he was
first.
averaging
Game
10
on.
more than Conan. He's been the better player, but Conan's been the better
57.
finisher of the two.
Is it a mark of the mindset of Klaasen that when I asked him earlier about
140.
how he's feeling 5 days in, I was referencing the fact that this is more like
Day
his
8.
8th.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he
100.
he just totally dismissed it because it feels like a new week to him, but all credit to him. Well, we touched on it last night. Tonight is going to be as much about
85.
ability as it is match fitness. That would have been long days in
99.
Killarney because they had big entries, over 500.
Dart tournaments in Ireland. Long days.
125.
Been a great response this leg from Whitehead. 57 ton 99 for Klaasen. followed by a
140. Conan, you require
Conan
151.
140, 85, 125, 51 and tops. Does he go ball
83.
here, Paul?
Yeah,
Yellow, you require
I think it's a good
105.
play. Tops.
45.
Right on it, wasn't
Conan,
it?
you require 68.
It was not far away. Now Whitehead's trying to survive to get the darts back.
52.
But it's a very, very bad shot down in the bottom
Yellow,
left
you
corner.
require
Not for the first
60.
time in the match. To his chagrin, he might be 4-2 and done.
Game.
That is
Shot
clinical
and the
by
match.
Klaasen,
Jelle Klaasen.
who puts in a very good display, averaging close to 99. His doubling 4 hits from 9. Everything can be admired, and he puts himself in the chairman's chair to get himself through a fabulous Group 2. It will be in match number 4, Klaasen trying to book his spot against Arron Monk, and if he beats Arron Monk, it will be a straight shootout between Monk and Whitehead in Game 6 to see who joins him. But before we get there, we've got Gavin Carlin up against Darryl Pilgrim in match 3 in Group 1 after the break.
Good evening and welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where Jelle Klaasen has just got the better of Conan Whitehead in our second match of this evening's session. It always looked like it was going to be a mouth-watering group, didn't it? And it was an explosive start to the group from both players in that one. Klaasen with a 12-dart leg in there early on, but as much as we've spoken about his big finish in this week, Conan Whitehead produced a 3-figure outshot of his own in that one, a 1-1-6, and he was 2 out of 2 on the doubles early on. But when he finally did miss one, the Cobra pounced to break and then motored towards the finish line to pick up the first 2 points in Group 2. But now we return to Group 1, and it's Gav Carlin up against Darryl Pilgrim. This, of course, a must-win for Carlin. Now, of course, he was defeated by Colin Osborne in our opening match of this evening's session, which means Gav Carlin has to win to keep his hopes of qualifying alive. As for Darryl Pilgrim, well, we know he's got a bit of a thing, hasn't he, for winning here on finals night. He and Colin would go through to the semi-finals if he's able to pick up the 2 points in this one. Carlin defeated 4-2 in his opener. He was 2 out of 9 on the outer ring in that one, and the missed doubles really costly for him in that opener. Quite surprisingly, his relationships with tops were a little off in that match as well. A double that he's usually so clinical on just not working for him in that match. He'll need to relinquish that relationship in this next match if he is to progress through, of course. Let's head into our third match of this evening's session then and rejoin Nico and Mace.
I was thinking half the field tonight was in Champions Week last time, so it's like it's definitely a tough week. The first aim's always to get through to Saturday night, then take it from there.
How do you feel about your campaign over the last couple of days? Because from my perspective, it seemed like you went under the radar. There was definitely a lot more attention paid to the likes of Klaasen and Whitehead.
Yeah, I always prefer going under the radar. Then no one really pays attention to you and you can sneak up underneath.
Well, we have to pay attention to your shirt tonight because that is always in the colours of your beloved Crystal Palace. And is that a source of inspiration for you?
Yeah, it was definitely, when I picked out the design, it was definitely a source of inspiration.
You must be a fan of Ted Lasso, surely.
I've never actually watched it. I keep meaning to get around to do it, but I never have.
Well, if you are looking for a bit of inspirational talk, watch Ted Lasso. But very, very best of luck to you tonight. Go well.
Cheers, thank you.
Always a chipper chap, isn't he, Nico?
Yeah, he is a bit. That's a very, very fetching bit of work on the back of that shirt as well. And he spent so much time playing darts with us during the weekend on Saturday nights. He might as well get a few dart shirts because he's going to need them. He's a very, very capable player. And he comes into tonight with the best running average of the year of any player playing tonight, 91.35 for all of his games this year. Make no mistake, Darryl Pilgrim is a world-class player. 35-year-old from South Croydon, hence why he's a Crystal Palace fan, because they're just around the corner.
Yeah, he was great company to have around Champions Week as well. Really nice fella. And a fine dart player. I'm just looking over some of the all-time stats. This is one that does surprise me. Our all-time running average over 7,116 matches. This is
first leg. It's Gavin the throw first.
Match.
Game on.
86.55.
That's not bad. So this is a palindrome game for you little mathematical nerds out there. And yes, Kirk Bevins, you are one of them. 7117 is a palindrome. And I've had a tweet tonight from Ben Witz. It could be Witz. Asking me a stats question. Not having the throw to start a match, the fifth leg is crucial to break, which it is a lot of the time.
85.
You get the 2-2, breaking that fifth leg, and then you throw for the match. Yep, that's true. How many matches have gone this route to then be 4-2? Considering we've had 7,116 matches, it might take us a bit of time to figure that out.
Well, there's some other stats I can give you, unfortunately.
99.
Not those, but in terms of matches that have gone 4-2, that is the most likely scoreline, 2,178 times.
82.
But we are approaching If the boys don't know another, I'll have to work it out properly. Hang on, I've got to do it now.
All right, we'll come back to Mace in a second. He's just going to work it out as a 180 is planted.
180. Gavin, you require 141.
Another 14 180s, and we will have our
83.
15,000.
Darryl, you require 137.
Come on, lads. We're going to make it happen. Mace is going to keep count. And when we get it, we will let you know. But how about a 137?
117.
He'll be disappointed because the first two were so
Gavin,
perfect. And he had room to play with in that double top bed as well. The bed that is owned
in the first leg
by Gavin Carlin, who takes the lead in the first leg. And he needs to win this one, because if he doesn't, he's going on that flight tomorrow
Second
that he did book.
Darryl the throw first. Game on.
Unexpectedly.
Well, even a win, of course, doesn't guarantee him now, but if he can win big,
140.
put him in a very, very strong position.
Yeah, like we said earlier, if you, after your 2 group games, can have 2 points and a positive leg difference,
60.
You will be through. As it stands, with Colin on -2 in leg difference and no points, if he wins against Darryl by 4 legs to 1, he will be safe. And then Pilgrim and Osborne
91.
will do battle in the 3rd group game, which would put Pilgrim in a very bad spot.
134.
How many 170 finishes do you think we've had?
Over the last couple of years.
100.
Yep. Got a guess from the gallery of 31. It's a
140. Darryl, you require 170.
Well, my favourite number is 32, so I'll double that, 64.
Ooh, good effort, Nico. 72.
Oh, it's the old MVG.
94.
That's the shot he won his
Gavin, you
first World
require
Championship on in
167.
16 tops.
Do you remember that?
I don't know. It's a cavernous place, my brain.
96.
Used your brain as much as me, I
Darryl, you
suppose. That's
require
probably why you remember.
76.
Well, you know we've had 10 9-darters. Let's have an 11th tonight, boys. How about 10 darters?
36.
We didn't get a 15
Gavin,
there
you
from Pilgrim,
require
but we might get a 15
71.
from Gavin. Not 64, is it?
It is.
Maybe the number of the night.
No score.
Oh, but Gavin, what have you done?
Darryl, you require 40.
The 2's it. For 1 apiece.
Double 10.
Yeah, that's
Very well found.
Darryl
Left
Pilgrim.
it late, though, didn't he? It is the hold. And now we will feel like...
Third leg,
He's
it's
in the
Gavin the
match.
throw first. Game on.
I think one of my best observations of the whole week, and it came pretty
96.
late in the piece, was that when I was looking at the back of the dart shirt of Gavin Carlin, I realised that the on the back of the shirt was upside down.
44.
Can't believe I'd never seen that before.
And after last night, averages over 105. 166 now. Over 105.
Yeah, the standard has been incredible.
So many. We just
28.
don't do them like just over 100. I'd like to know what they are.
If you look at Darryl Pilgrim this week, he's played 8 games. He's won 5 of them. It's a
177.
very much a typical week from Darryl. His win percentage has been so good when he's been with us
140.
over the last year and a bit. In fact, every game he's played, this is his 118th game. He is the only person playing tonight who has a
96.
career win percentage over 60%. That is elite here at the MODUS Super Series. And he's 62.5% for the week. So it's just what he does.
60.
I find it incredible that as a Crystal Palace fan, he hasn't watched Ted Lasso yet.
100.
Maybe if he wins tonight, he can get a subscription to the network that shows it. There's actually a dart scene
55.
in that show. Ted Lasso hits a 170 checkout.
Really?
Yeah. It's very, very good. It's a nice mix of darting execution and a bit of philosophy as well. Feel-good philosophy.
44.
Ooh, that one got the 20 out of the way, but it didn't punctuate the red bit. Not a good dart there from Darryl, but he'll hope he's coming back.
And incredibly, every player in tonight's lineup had at least one 170 out.
48. Darryl, you require 40.
Break of throw opportunity.
Tens again.
30.
This time, he lets it slip.
Gavin, you require 74.
Looks a bit edgy. I think the importance of this match is just getting to him a little bit. 13 ball, treble 13, leaves double 12.
I think it's getting to both of them.
I agree.
49.
Watching Gavin Carlin this week and watching Pilgrim the last 2 days, I've seen a lot more fluency and rhythm getting to the hockey, but you can see the tension on the faces of the players. Darryl was saying a little bit earlier on with me that he understands the strength of the 6 players in tonight. And to prove that, something that he said, 3 of tonight's players were in the Champions League for Super Series 1.
This is how good it is. The 4th is only good enough to commentate.
99.
Comment of the week by a furlong.
I just want to give the lads a chance. I don't need another 5 bags.
I'm sure there are plenty of people out there actually watching on Sporty Stuff TV and online. I would love to know if you're going to have a crack at Super Series 2.
We are just
95.
trying to manipulate my rather extensive diary in January, but it is looking like maybe week 8 or 9, I think, but it can only be a Thursday and a Friday, and hopefully a Saturday.
There's a long, long way to go before we get there.
140.
So many other weeks here at the Super Series, and there's a World Championship on the horizon as well.
There's a Players' Championship finals next weekend.
And it's a 3-1 lead for Pilgrim.
Yeah, that's game
Just saw it coming. He's starting to grow in confidence.
Beautiful leg.
And Gavin is on the cusp of elimination. If he loses one more leg, it will mean that match 5 tonight will just be a playoff to see who wins the group between Pilgrim and Osborne. Make no mistake,
45.
Osborne wants Pilgrim to win this match because it means that he's through with a game to spare.
Exactly that. We see that scenario pop up so often on these Saturday
140.
nights. That's why it is just imperative to win that opening match.
I said earlier in the week about Pilgrim that
100.
I don't think we're going to see him in the Super Series next season. I think he'll be on tour. I think his level of consistency and his ability to find a lot of really key legs and good longer matches, I think he's going to be a PDC pro next year.
And when we have seen him over, the week, starting on the Monday, doesn't seem to suffer with fatigue at all. In fact, if anything, he gets progressively better. And that is the key to playing at Q School, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I'm pretty certain that he's starting to get fitter as well. He's not only playing a lot of tournaments.
He's definitely lost a fair bit of timber as well.
He has. Since he started playing with us, he has lost a bit of weight. But before we go any further, I just want to... In fact, I'm going to save what I'm going to say for the next match, because Darryl Pilgrim is on a 1-2-3 to win this match here.
Easy as ABC. Not now. Well, he can stay down there. All 19s leave tops.
Well, Carlin's been so good on tops, he might as well go for 3 of them.
87.
It's pretty much the only thing we haven't seen this week.
Seen it off from Jose on the TV.
Bull! Oh, so close.
Darryl, you require 36.
He did that with no hesitation. The win for Pilgrim is taken with no hesitation, and that sends Gavin Carlin out. It will be a playoff between Osborne and Pilgrim to see who wins the group. But Carlin, who only just squeaked into the finals night here on Saturday, well, his elimination is the first of the Saturday night, so he will be on the plane back to Northern Ireland tomorrow, having been dispatched by Darryl Pilgrim with that really good performance. The average in excess of 100. The checkouts could have been better, but they didn't need to be better. He is going to take some stopping tonight. We will go back to Group 2 when we return, and it will be Klaasen looking to book his place in the semi-finals, and he's up against Arron Monk, who is the last person to play their first game of the night after this short commercial.
So then we have our first two players through to the semi-finals. Colin Osborne and Darryl Pilgrim are through from Group 1 in this one. Gav Carlin has made a bit of a habit, hasn't he, this week, of leaving himself quite a bit to do. He required a victory in that one, but was unable to do what was required in order to get himself back in the run-in for qualification through to the semi-finals. Both players looked a little nervy, a little edgy in that one, but Darryl Pilgrim settled the quicker and 11-dart leg, helping him on his way to victory in that one. And it does mean, as I just mentioned, that he and Colin Osborne are the two players through from Group 1 into the semi-finals. So all eyes now back on Group 2, and the next match sees Jelle Klaasen take on Arron Monk. Jelle Klaasen, of course, winning his opening match of this evening's session. He got the better of Conan Whitehead in that one. The head-to-head between Jelle Klaasen and Arron Monk from Group A earlier this week is 2-1 in Arron Monk's favour. Jelle Klaasen, as I mentioned, he'll guarantee his spot in the semi-finals with a win in this one. Conan missing double 16 by quite some distance before Jelle Klaasen got over the line and got the job done in that one. Well then, Paul Nicholson caught up with Arron Monk and his dad Colin prior to this session getting underway. Let's hear from them now.
It's Saturday night once again, and the Monk family are here. Well, we've got one playing and one supporting. Arron, how are you feeling about your challenge tonight? Because you still haven't won on a Saturday night. I know this is grinding on you.
Oh, no, I feel a little bit like Michael Smith. You know, just can't get over that line. No, but I feel good. I feel good.
How are you feeling about your form throughout the week? Because you have played 5 consecutive days. And are you tired, or do you feel like you're working up to something?
I was tired during the week. It's been nice to wake up and not have to play darts and save it for the evening. I've been feeling real smooth, to be fair. I've felt better than what I've been playing, so just hopefully I'll take it up another gear.
And Colin, welcome back to the MODUS Super Series. I know you played in Southampton, but here in Portsmouth, this is your town, of course. This is your area. How are you feeling about Arron's chances, and do you feel nervous when you watch him?
Yeah, I've been speaking to Arron, throughout the week, seeing how he's getting on, and I just hope I don't bring him bad luck today. I'm a bit sort of like superstitious because I haven't seen him play. He's got through. I'll come down here tonight to watch him. If he plays well, he's got a good chance.
Stepping on the socky tonight and just having a bit of a look around, because you saw this place when it was under construction, does it give you the urge to come play maybe?
I mean, Paul, you just got to look around the place. It's absolutely fantastic, and like you said, it makes you want to sort of pick the darts up and have another go. Really, yeah. Fair play to the MODUS crew. Done a really good job here.
Arron, lastly with you, it is one heck of a group you're in tonight with Whitehead and Klaasen. I mean, we're all looking at that thinking this is going to be fireworks tonight. Is this the kind of night which you can really get your teeth into these games?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I keep beating Klaasen, so that's fine. Against Conan, I'm not too sure. I ain't really played him before, so I'm ready to get stuck in, give it some large ones.
Well, without further ado, get stuck in. All the best.
Cheers.
First look at Arron Monk on finals night tonight. A very interesting match ahead. And of course, if it is Jelle Klaasen who picks up the points, it will be a straight shootout in the final game of Group 2 between Arron Monk and Conan Whitehead to determine who goes through along with Jelle. But first, let's sit back and enjoy this one, because this in itself could be explosive. Lads, back over to you.
Thanks, Abby. Yeah, interesting thoughts there from Arron Monk, standing next to his dad, to darting greats of this part of England. And over the hometown for Arron, not too far from here. And he said, I keep beating Klaasen. I'm sure Jelle has not heard that, but that's just a little sign of the confidence that you get from the Mad Monk.
Yeah, a little psychological dig at Jelle.
Arron's looking for a very successful Saturday night.
It's Jelle to throw first. Game on.
He, like Klaasen, Super Series yet.
59.
They are the only two of everybody playing tonight who haven't done it yet. So could it be Arron's night? Could it be Jelle's night? It's more likely to be Jelle's night
83.
if he wins this game, because he will definitely be in the semi-finals. He will join Colin Osborne and Darryl Pilgrim
43.
in the Final Four. They're safe, but they've got one more group game to go. But Arron, someone who is very strong, very fit, very capable, wearing his
83.
usual undersized clothing. Everything seems to be painted on tonight.
Well, the history between these two goes back 10 years.
77.
And they played in a UK Open qualifier in 2012. Klaasen winning 6-2. And then in the PDC, didn't meet again until
100.
2019 when they were both tour card holders in Wigan. It was Arron winning 6-4 in an absolute cracker. Both players averaging over
85.
97.
Yeah, this one's got potential because they live and breathe this sport. They've had great times in their career. Arron, of course, being a former world youth champion.
65.
And Klaasen being a champion at Lakeside 16 years ago.
Well, Arron said he keeps beating Jelle. He beat him Monday and Tuesday this
Arron, you
week
require
in Group
170.
A, but the last time they played, which was on Wednesday, on the final day of Group A, Klaasen beat him 4-0. In terms of head-to-head here at the Super Series, it does favour Arron, but only narrowly, 3 matches to 2.
Tops. That's his second crack at that tonight.
Arron, you require 65.
And 4 times it hasn't paid off. Monk is looking at 1 tops.
Yeah, that's game short in the first.
He's not going to leave anything to chance tonight. In a knockout scenario, you just know that Monk is going to be
Arron
aggressive.
the throw first. Game on.
Shake of the head from Jelle, but can't think he seriously thought he was going to take out the 137 on tops. I know he's playing well, but I just expect to hit.
I just want to put something to bed, of course, because when Kevin Painter was eliminated from Group C, his final 2 darts in the group were
60.
80 left, and he went tops. Now, James Wade did that to him in the match play something like 15 years ago, and Kevin thought it was disrespectful. So, times have changed.
84.
Yeah, it was quite a funny situation. I'd actually played James not that long prior to that match. And
100.
It was best of 9 we played then, and it was 4-4. I hit 180 to leave tops. He wanted 80. And he went tops. Turned around, shook my hand in typical James Wade fashion.
27.
This kid's got some style. And then, of course, when he did it to Kevin Painter, well, he was
81
up to the practice area and into the players' lounge, and yeah, he let James know what he thought. James wasn't shy in replying either.
I'm not surprised. One thing I will say as well, because we've been here for
59.
5 straight days this week, and great work, by the way, Mace, as well as the likes of Marco and the production crew, all doing a fantastic job, including the players. But shirt of the week, by a long way, Kevin Painter wearing a tribute shirt to Eric Bristow. I think a lovely touch this week.
Yeah, it was a beautiful
43.
touch.
Jelle, you require 80.
You can buy those shirts from Legend Darts, I do believe. They do a series of
60.
Eric Bristow type things if you are interested.
Now, last time Arron was here on a Saturday night, he lost out to Scott Williams in the final. Scott was unable to play in Champions Week because he had other commitments.
134. Jelle, you
Josh
require
Payne
20.
was able to take his place because he was the best second place player.
Jelle Klaasen.
But Jelle's not second place in leg 2. This one is a couple of breaks to throw, and we're level at 1-1.
Third leg, it's Jelle to throw first. Game on.
Just want to say something at this juncture, Mace, because it's been a tough week for a couple of our friends. We've heard that one of our friends from the county of Surrey, Aaron Turner, lost his father yesterday. So I want to say
58.
Everybody from the MODUS Super Series family sends their love to the Turner family and also to the McDine family, because Kevin, who is a friend to us all, lost his dear father yesterday. And one thing that Kevin did today, which was remarkable,
57.
He went to a darts tournament in the northeast of England in Saltburn. He won the tournament to dedicate it to his dad. And who did he beat in the final? He beat Tony Wood, who was here this week. A remarkable thing for Kevin to do, but I knew Kevin's father quite well, and he'll be sorely missed.
Yeah, absolutely. And he had a dilemma this morning, and he wasn't quite sure, but did the right thing. It's what his dad would have wanted. His father was his biggest fan and influence, and I actually stayed at the McDine house many, many years ago, and they made me very, very welcome. He was one hell of a character, and I echo your thoughts there, Nico.
I don't think this game is following the blueprint that I thought it would.
No.
It's very, very edgy. There's a lot of pizzazz on stage.
Plenty of testosterone and all.
Yeah. Lots of pizzazz for averages around 83.
60.
Now, Jelle knows Arron's ways. This will not be a surprise.
$99. Arron, you require 145.
I don't know what's shinier this week, Arron's forehead or Kevin Painter's shoes.
Line of the week.
We've had line of the week, we've had
90.
shirt of the week.
Jelle, you
Performance of the week,
90.
definitely Conan Whitehead to date. Klaasen's looking at tops. Oh,
yeah,
bull
that's
tops.
in the third line.
That's a little
Jelle
show
Klaasen.
of confidence right there, because most defensive players would have gone for 2 single 20s and the ball at the
Forward
end.
lag, it's Arron the throw first.
180
Game
on the leg from Arron. That wasn't enough to stop. Jelle giving us our first hold of throw.
78.
Funnily enough, we've got Arron Monk playing with some Nathan Aspinall darts. And Nathan Aspinall
80.
used his darts pretty effectively tonight in the Grand Slam. He's
Yes.
made his way to the final 4 of that tournament. So is that a sign for Arron, maybe?
Yeah, congratulations to Nathan
57.
beating Alan Suter, and congratulations to Luke Humphries, who defeated Michael Van Gerwen this evening. So tomorrow night's semi-finals are as follows: Barney against Michael Smith and Nathan Aspinall against Luke Humphries. It's from
48.
7 o'clock on Sky Sports. No, it's in the afternoon, isn't it? 1 o'clock on Sky Sports for the semis and 7 o'clock for the finals.
Yeah, you guys are allowed to watch that now that we're not playing on
93.
Sundays. It's the only day we have off.
Well, it's actually worked out perfect in the quarterfinals because they were both finished by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, you get your darting fix and it can continue it all the way through to 1, maybe 1:30 a.m., depending on whether we have a 9-dart shootout.
123.
9-dart shootouts
Jelle, you require
tend to happen
148.
when all 3 results in the group are the same. The first game of this group was 4-2. If Jelle gets 1 more leg, we're not going to have a 9-dart shootout.
58.
Yeah, mine, it was all 4 threes.
Ooh, he's left 90 again. Dart players love to leave the same number they've already hit because they know they can do it.
Don't think he'll be going ball this
Jelle,
time.
you
though.
require 90.
So you've pitched your tent on that. And he did. Ball at the end this time.
Yeah, that's game short on the forward lag.
3-1 Klaasen. He's 1 leg away from the final 4.
Well, I expected to see the ball at the end, Nico, but
Fifth lag,
after
it's
2
Jelle
single
the throw
20s.
first. Game on.
Well, we said congratulations to the lads in the slam. Congratulations to Kevin for winning that
59.
tournament in Saltburn.
Yes, absolutely.
And
what an unbelievable day.
congratulations to Callan Ridds as well. Apparently, he won a tournament in the northeast of England and, in his own words,
44.
smashed Dobie in the final. So, if you're watching, Chris, get in touch and confirm just how
59.
good Callan was, because he's not shy in saying how he's performed.
So he's the king of the street this evening.
Yes, he's the king of the street today.
180.
Well, we've had 4 maximums in this game, and Mace is on 180 watch, aren't you, mate?
I am on 180 watch. We've had 13 already tonight. We need 9 more.
43.
15,000.
One of the benefits of being in Arron's
57.
position so far tonight, he's getting very frustrated. And what's more, his opponent can see that, which is ammunition. But if he loses the first game by a distance, he's really up against it, because he will face a scenario against Conan Whitehead where he's going to have to win by a certain margin, maybe. But if Klaasen already goes through, Whitehead's already been defeated. So it's just 1 game. Doesn't matter about the margin. Just got to win. But this was always going to be the complexity of this group. 3 players, any 2 combination could have gone through to the last 4.
Yeah. A little correction as well. We've actually had 4 in this match. I thought it was only 3. I missed
60. Yellow Uruguay 135.
So we're actually on 14 for the night, so just 8 more.
Klaasen can't stop hitting this bullseye, honestly.
109.
He's hit 3 of them, 2 on approach.
Arron Uruguay 60.
1 to finish a leg, and Monk's missed a single. Double top to stay in the match.
It's got to go.
40. The last scorer from Yellow was 119. Yellow Uruguay
Double
16.
8 for the match to be in the final 4. Is he there?
No score.
Not yet.
Arron Uruguay 20.
Match darts.
Yeah, that's game short in the
This
fifth
game
round.
continues.
Arron Monk.
And you just never know what could happen from here, because if Arron finds his range and stops Jelle from getting any more match shots,
6 targets, Arron the throw
then
first.
Jelle is very
Game
far
on.
from safe. These guys have something in common, actually. You'll never see, or very rarely see,
97.
Arron Monk in a dart shirt. He always likes to play in something in piqué cotton, which is breathable. He just feels more comfortable that way. And a few years ago, as Chris is jotting down another maximum, Jelle felt exactly the same. He used to play in piqué polo shirts, even when he was in a world championship. He just found that having the sleeves a little bit higher just meant that it didn't fiddle with his elbow. And it felt more comfortable for him. But these days he's found a range of dart shirts that he feels comfortable in. But Arron, at the minute, very much in an outfit that would grace a night out, as well as gracing an hockey. But he's still very smart.
You can imagine dressed up like that, having a glass of vino in a London swanky wine bar.
What kind of parallel universe are you thinking about with Arron in a wine bar? Are you imagining him just leaning up against the bar like Del Boy and seeing his mate in a blue suit?
Be cool, Trig. Be cool.
This would be pretty cool. 2 of those. Oh, another
56.
match start missed.
Arron Uruguay 74.
Where's he going here? Double 17 tops. Double 10.
64.
This is not an exhibition. This is a serious game of darts, and you can see
Yellow
the reaction.
38.
What would you give him out of 10 for those left hooks? Because there were 3 of them. This could be a right hook.
No score.
Wow, what's that? 7 match darts
Arron
missed.
Uruguay
Do you get
10.
the feeling that the outburst by Monk may have just triggered a little bit of distraction?
Yeah.
Double 1.
Yeah,
it's there.
that's game short in the 6th
It's
round.
3-3.
Arron Monk.
And we knew there were going to be fireworks in this group. We just knew it. Still shaking the head, Klaasen, but
7-10
he goes
final
over the
leg.
dots.
It's Yellow to throw first. Game on.
He missed shots at double 8.
137.
Then multiple shots at double 19. I make it 7 match starts.
Yep, confirmed.
70.
I get the feeling that the right result here for
60.
Conan Whitehead is a Klaasen win, because he just wants to play against Monk. Straight up, best of 7. Don't worry about the margin.
44.
Is Arron, throughout this week, who's shown a lot of mental toughness and really good focus, is he just showing too much to his opponent? In fact, there is a monitor in the practice room, and they can all see this too.
Yep. He's just given too much away, and that's what you feed off as a player. You can feed off your opponent's negativity, and you turn it into a positive.
Yellow, you require 170.
Never show weakness. This is
Never.
not weak. Very far from it.
140.
There's so many looks at the bullseye in this match, but was the play maybe to leave the double, or did he want to get the 170 for the fans?
Oh, and I think he wanted to do it to hurt his opponent.
140. Yellow, you require
Well, double 8 was not good to him, so he's decided to go to double 4 instead.
21.
Oh no. That is
Arron,
9
you require
match darts.
147.
You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
Game,
What on earth was
shot,
that?
And the match, Arron Monk.
That's an astonishing finish. Klaasen misses 9 match darts in 3 different legs, and Arron Monk was nowhere in that leg. He was nowhere. And he pitches a 147 to win it by 4 legs to 3. As for the permutations in Group 2, we're going to need to come down a little bit after that match. It had almost everything, especially when you think about the fact that Monk averaged 5 less than his opponent. We will analyse the fallout from that game when we come back. And when we do come back, it's going to be Pilgrim against Osborne in a playoff to see who wins Group 1.
Well, we expected fireworks in Group 2, and it has certainly delivered. Arron Monk coming through in a last leg decider to get the better of Jelle Klaasen in the most scintillating fashion. A 1-4-7 from him to get over the line in that one. As the lads in commentary said, Monk certainly playing like he didn't want to leave anything at all to chance out there this evening. The problem for him that was for the large part of that one, Jelle Klaasen was really inspired. It really seems like he's leaving his best until the latter stages of this tournament. But 9 match starts missed from Jelle Klaasen in that match, and Arron Monk certainly punished him. A superb 1-4-7 outshot to get over the line and get 2 points on the board in Group 2. But next, our attention turns back to Group 1. This match, of course, to determine who finishes top of the group. They are both already through, Colin Osborne and Darryl Pilgrim, because they have both got the better of Gav Carlin. Of course, that does eliminate Carlin from proceedings here on finals night, and it is Pilgrim. He obviously got over the line in that opener against Gav Carlin, but he did so in fantastic fashion, didn't he? A ton average, our only ton average so far of this evening's play. As for Colin Osborne, well, he won the opening game of this evening's session, and he has only had to win that one game, and he is through to the semi-finals here. So then, our final match in Group 1, and it sees the 2 players who are already through. Who is going to top the group? We are about to find out. Here is how Darryl Pilgrim got over the line to complete a 4-1 victory over Gav Carlin in that one. Missed doubles again, costing Carlin, as they have done so far this week. So Darryl Pilgrim against Colin Osborne for the chance to be top of Group 1 and end the group in a confident way, most definitely. Let's get into it and hand back over to our commentary team.
Thanks, Abby. Yes, an interesting subplot. Let's just come down a little bit after that 4th game of the night, which had a ridiculous climax. But this one, these 2 are safe. So, lessen the way of nerves when it comes to that. But you do want to top your group. And if Colin Osborne does top the group, he will be part of the first semi-final, which will involve the runner-up from Group 2. We'll get to that a little bit later, because it might be slightly complicated. But Pilgrim was very, very impressive with that 100 average, but Osborne was pretty impressive too, miss.
Yeah, what we expect from Colin. And this is a fascinating tie, because, of course, you want to get one over your opponent here, because you may well end up playing them
is Darryl the
in the
throw
final,
first.
of course.
There's a lot made this week, as there is every year, about the repeat fixtures in the Grand Slam of Darts from the group stage to the knockout stage. It can actually happen on finals night here on Saturday nights, and it has happened many times. So, to prove your point, if, for instance, Osborne wins this game and Pilgrim goes to the second semi-final, they both win their semis and they play in the final, you'd much rather have won the first game because you have that slight edge, that mental edge. There's also another thing on the line here as well. Whoever wins this game will have the darts in their semi-final, which could come in handy.
Absolutely. You want the darts at that stage of the tournament. Well, it's their first meeting,
60.
incredibly. Hang on.
23.
It's actually their first meeting here at the Super Series. However, they clashed at Q School this year in stage 1, and it was Darryl Pilgrim winning 5-2.
140.
Period where Colin just wasn't quite at the races.
Yeah, he spoke to me earlier and he was talking about how he hasn't really performed on the Challenge Tour or at Q School this year, but
100.
He did rebound pretty well by winning a weekly title in the first phase this year. But now he wants to crank up his form going into Christmas time.
60.
No better than winning tonight and having a guaranteed visit back in 2023, if indeed he doesn't go through Q School in January, because I'm sure he's going there.
Yeah, he's done okay. He's picked up
85.
He's picked up a couple of ADC titles and other non-ranking open events. But yeah, this is the kind of period you want to be playing well. But I do wish they'd change the rules slightly. There's so many other opportunities for
144. Darryl, you require 95.
You know, if you finish top in this or in the top in the other, just don't understand why we can't have a separate qualifier for those.
76.
You know, we've got the
Colin,
tour card holder
40.
qualifiers on. Is it Monday? Monday after the Players' Championship finals next week.
Yep.
For those
yeah, that's game short in the first round. Colin Osborne.
I think it'd be nice if they had just one place.
Second leg, it's Colin to throw first.
One thing we can't say in related darting news, because it's been a day where there have been tournaments going on all over the place. There was an Eastern European qualifier for the World Championship, and it was won by Sebastian Białecki, who's been here under this roof in the last couple of months. And he will make his way to Ali Pali, as will Jose Justicia, who was part of our project in the days when we were playing from home. The glorious days of when Jose would say, "I am Jose, I am here." And there were motorbikes going on in the background.
Yeah, we know those incredibly annoying, they're almost like mosquitoes flying around, and they were these little mopeds scooting around every 5 minutes, about 11,000 RPM. Yeah, the heady days.
Can I just blow my own trumpet for a second, Mace, because of my picks when I was with the Sporty Stuff TV crew earlier?
43.
I said, somewhat cagily, I think Jelle Klaasen and Arron Monk will go all 7 legs. Now, it shouldn't have, but it did.
Yep.
And that paid
140.
7-4.
Colin, you require 138.
So I'm doing all right with the picks this week. I hope you guys are, if you're having a flutter, but remember, over 18s only. BeGambleAware.org for more information, and gamble responsibly, please.
58.
Absolutely. Only gamble what you can afford to lose, because that's what's going to happen.
And I do have this game as one of my other picks. I've gone for Conan Whitehead to win at 13-5 favourite tonight. He's got to win his next game. We'll get to that in a second. But my pick for this game was more than 2.5 180s, and we've only had one so far.
Well, we've only completed one leg. I think this one has a fair few legs in it, Nico.
That's why I went for that.
108.
Because I thought there would be 6 or 7 legs in this one.
Just a minute, I did like your picks.
Double 16.
Yeah, that's
and we got 2 legs in the bank. 1 all. Good game.
$15
Third leg, it's Darryl to throw first.
It's the game back.
Okay, I'm going to set you a bit of a task now, as you're keeping the 180 tally, by the way. You look at the
60
back of Darryl Pilgrim's shirt. What does his illustration remind you of? It's just reminded me of something that really makes me laugh. Are you a big fan of ventriloquism?
45.
No.
I'm sure Darryl won't mind me saying this. It's not a derogatory thing at all.
85.
But the illustration itself kind of reminds me of Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. It's a puppet used by the great ventriloquist Jeff Dunham, who has a lot of
85.
excellent characters. But
the only one I can think of is Emu, that annoying bird thing.
Yeah, I don't think that would get on very well this
44.
There's a great clip. Bobby George was on whatever the show was where that bird thing appeared, and I honestly thought Bobby was going to break his arm whilst breaking the bird's neck.
He's a good sport, is Bobo.
Yeah, if you're tuning in, Bobby and Marie, hope you're both well. See you both soon. If you are just coming in from the pub or local darts or whatever, welcome along. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, only takes a second, and Don't forget to
100.
hit that notification bell and we'll send you an alert when new content lands and we go live, or if you're a social media user, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at MSS Darts.
134.
Give us a follow and get in touch. Let us know what you're thinking. Keep it clean.
We've had some good tweetage tonight from some late night darts fans who love a bit of Super Series action.
58.
I don't personally do Twitter,
120.
I do Instagram. Chris 180 Mason, I know, no gags. Fortunately, not too much darting content on there. And if easily offended.
100.
There's been a lot of chat this week about the fact that Twitter might not be around very much, but don't believe everything you read. Believe everything you see. That's why you're tuning in. You want to believe what you see. And can you believe it?
Yeah,
Osborne's just taken a 130. That we can
Osborne.
believe. Beautifully done, Colin.
Didn't look in doubt, did it?
Ford Larkins
He's
calling
always
the through
been that
first.
surgical
Game
type
on.
player, looking for gaps, looking to place those darts in. He said earlier he's in a good place. Anybody who's playing well, usually they're in a good place. Colin's life's good right now. He's playing well. He's happy. Conan, the same. New baby, really happy.
140.
No financial pressure. When you take pressure away from the personal life, you see people thrive.
A happy player is a dangerous player.
140.
You've got a phrase, haven't you, Mace, where when you don't have to chase a pound note. Very eloquently put, actually.
60.
Yeah, it is. It was all down to that back in the day. Of course, there's just more opportunities and a lot more money in the game. But back in the day, it was Bill, of course, was
120.
by far the better player. But he also had everything in place and sorted. His finances were sorted. He had a great manufacturer dealing with any small adjustments he needed. He had a driver. Everything was
140.
in place for him to be able to produce and perform at the level he did. And with his 100% commitment to the sport, his dedication, his work
58.
ethic,
Colin, you
his
require
application is why,
161.
in my opinion, he is the GOAT.
Is there any doubt about that?
Not in my head.
120.
I'd like to talk to somebody who would disagree with that. We'll just have to bring up Phil's Wikipedia page, because you'll be reading it for a few days.
Yeah.
96. Colin, you require
Osborne
40.
looking smooth, looking energised, and if there was any sort of doubt about the likelihood of him being good tonight, it's being erased by some excellent stuff.
20.
Ooh, just hesitated
Darryl,
a
you
little bit there on the double
87.
10 and went further away.
I think he wanted to move and then changed his mind. 20 ball.
62.
Colin found the ball.
Colin, you require
Previous
20.
leg. Darryl Pilgrim couldn't do the same. And he should be 3-1.
What did we call this for Colin? Plan B?
Yeah. He doesn't mind a double 10. Usually.
Oh, that did not go to plan.
16. Darryl, you require 25.
Good for you in the 180 tip, though.
Still only got the one.
May have a few more extra legs.
9.
Or maybe not.
Colin, you require
If Colin's going to miss this
4.
double 2, it's probably worth missing it by about 2 millimeters low. That'll do.
Like that.
Oh, just bounced it on top.
2.
Missed the mark.
Darryl, you require 16.
Well, Darryl's halfway to his worst leg of the week, which was 36 darts, by the way.
Yeah, that's game short in the fourth leg.
I said
Darryl
that
Pilgrim.
somewhat passive-aggressively, didn't I?
You did.
I think you heard me. He just flicked his eyes up
Fifth
towards our
flag, it's
commentary
Darryl the
position.
throw
He didn't
first.
hear me, I promise.
Game
But
on.
yes, let's just get it out the way. Darryl Pilgrim now owns the longest winning leg in Super Series history against Danny Smith, who took it in 36 darts.
It was incredible.
Still
for all the
making us
wrong
chuckle
reasons,
now.
but still, yeah, it did.
83.
We've had 4 consecutive breaks of throw in this match.
What do you make of the technique of Darryl Pilgrim? You're someone who likes to look at technique and stance and punctuation of the air with the follow through. I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah, we're having a look at Collins here, and Collins always had that bit of a wristy release at the
68.
end, where Darryl's is a bit wristy at the back end of the backswing. Ultimately, it's the right moving parts, everything from the elbow.
58.
There's a lot of fingertips touching the equipment, and you don't tend to see a great deal of players with 3 or even 4 fingers, as well as a thumb on the dart. And if you look at Darryl's right hand, you've got thumb, you've got forefinger, you've got middle finger, you've got third finger as well. That's quite unusual.
Yeah, that just keeps the dart set in that grip, doesn't it? It just keeps it set so it doesn't drop away and there's no movement in the wrist.
It actually reminds me a little bit of Sean McDonald, someone that we had in Southampton quite a few times. He would stick his little finger out like Eric Bristow and just take his time and wallop that 60. But we've had our second 180 of the match from Colin.
What are we going to get? Our third ton plus out.
101.
We still might.
Colin, you require 110.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this leg.
Drum roll, please. Over to you, Colin, before said question.
I'm going to write the answer down.
And he's not going to show me. Now, Colin is thinking, what do I do now?
94. Darryl, you require 25.
Maybe he should have gone to the 54 dart too. As Pilgrim hit the front.
Yeah,
yes,
that's been short in the 5th flag. Darryl Pilgrim.
First hold. An 18 darter. What is your, of all the throws you've seen
6
over
flag,
the
it's
past,
Colin the throw first. Game on.
3 years, isn't it? What's your favourite? And I'll give you 3 picks, and I'll be amazed if it's not on the one I've written down on this
85.
bit of paper that you can't see.
Oh boy, okay. So I've got to go blind here, have I? Got to.
Yeah, your 3 favourite actions, and probably one you may not have been familiar with, but congratulations to Nico, the king of the tips.
I got 5 right this week. I'm having a week of my life.
On fire, man.
Oh, and it's just got better. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. My favourite throw is Mike Warburton. Because I just think from a throw
42.
perspective, from an ease perspective, I think he's the best.
Well, that's not the one I wrote down.
Ah.
So you got 2 more picks. When I tell
85.
You,
Martin?
Nah. You'll probably change your mind from Warby to this guy.
Put me out of misery.
99.
Maybe if you buy me a drink.
Colin, you require
and that's the clue.
151.
Ah, Darren Beveridge.
There you go.
111.
Ooh, drinks are almost on Colin there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he had a beautiful throw.
Yeah, really smooth. On the comeback trail, he's had a bit of a break from the game. But I've got an idea, you know.
100.
Looks like it
Colin,
might
you
be
require
3-3.
40.
I'm going to save my comment until leg 7, Colin, so you better hit this. You better hit this.
Yeah, that's came short in the 6th flag.
I knew I could
Colin
count on you.
Osborne.
So, you know how in golf, if you get a hole in one, you go into the clubhouse and you've got to go and buy everybody a drink. Yes. So,
game on.
If somebody hits a 9 darter on a Saturday night, the player has to buy everybody a drink in the audience.
96.
Well, it won't be too bad because the price of a beer in here is seriously cheap.
Are you trying to tell me that you can get free tickets and
45.
reasonably priced beveraginis here at the Modus Live Lounge?
Absolutely. 3 beverages of your choice for a tenner.
I've been to hotels with the
Yeah, you wouldn't
PDC
get
Awards where I wouldn't get a drink out of a 50.
No. Wouldn't get a bottle of still water for a tenner.
I'll never forget when I was at the Dorchester once. I actually did order a bottle of water and said, "How would you like that, sir?"
51.
How would I like it? I'd like it thrust towards me, please. Preferably for less than £12.50.
Yeah, I do miss those awards.
180.
Maybe we should have one before the end of the year. In fact, when I am back here after tonight on the 5th of December, I'm going to put together a few categories and we're going to have the yearly MODUS Super Series Awards, Performance of the Year, Player of the Year, and all of that nonsense.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Well, I pitched that we would get 3 maximums in this match. We've had 5. And we've had a very good game. Both averaging 88. The doubles have been a bit below par, and that's one of the reasons why we've had 7 legs.
Well, it will be down to our final match.
95. Darryl, you require 41.
No, this is our final match. No, we've got one more, haven't we, of course?
We do. And it's a good one.
Conan against Arron.
Game.
But it's Pilgrim who wins Group 1.
Pilgrim.
He is going to be involved in the first semi-final, and he's going to have the darts, Mr. P. Colin Osborne will have another little wait for his next game, but he is also through to the semi-finals where he will take on the winner of our next match. You see the 88 averages from both of them there. Osborne missed a grand total of 13 darts at double. Pilgrim himself missed 8, so you get the feeling that maybe they won't have that luxury a little bit later on. But it's Monk against Whitehead in match 6 to see who qualifies from Group 2. The permutations are coming your way after this break.
So then it's Darryl Pilgrim who has ended Group 1 top of the table. That's after he won our last match against Colin Osborne in a last leg decider. 4-3 victory for him to round off the Group 1 campaign. Both producing 10+ finishes in that one, but also both having plenty of issues on the outer ring in that match. 21 darts missed at double between the two players. No such issues in the scoring phase, though. They were both really impressive in that one. So Darryl Pilgrim will take on the winner of our next match. Of course, the winner of this one progresses. The loser, of course, goes home. It is Conan Whitehead against Arron Monk, and it is this simple. Arron Monk needs 3 legs in order to progress. Conan Whitehead needs to win by 4 legs to 2 in order to get through to the semi-finals. And Monk found himself 3-1 down, didn't he, against Jelle Klaasen in his first match, but an amazing turnaround in that one, taking out a 147 to get over the line. Jelle Klaasen missing 9 match darts in that match and sat on double 2 for the match. Arron Monk took out a sublime 147 to pick up the points, and as a result, it all comes down to this one, and he needs 3 legs to qualify alongside Jelle Klaasen. As I mentioned, Conan Whitehead needs to win by 4 legs to 2 or better in order to progress through to the semi-finals. The reigning champion of champions is going to need to be more clinical in this one than he was in his opening match, but we saw last night, didn't he, just how he tends to respond to defeats here at the Super Series. Will he be able to get the victory that he needs in this one? Let's find out and hand back to our commentary team.
Last group game from Group 2. How did Arron Monk win that game against Jelle Klaasen? I still don't know. And right now, Conan's thinking, how's your luck, pal? It wasn't luck, it was brilliance at the end, but he was very fortunate to get that shot. Multiple match starts missed by Klaasen, who can do nothing but sit back and watch now.
I think it was 10 missed starts at doubles in 3 different legs.
Yeah, we forgot about that one at the bullseye, didn't we? For the 170. How many times does that happen where you miss the ball for 170 and then you go on to miss the split?
Well, you did
doubles.
question whether it was a wise move.
First
and
leg, it's
maybe
Arron
on
the throw
reflection
first.
now, it wasn't. So the permutations, Nico, let's have them.
Let's see if we can get them all rattled off before the end of leg 1, because there are a few. Just to keep things simple,
54.
Without talking about who's going to qualify first and second, let's go into the nitty-gritty. Arron needs 3 legs to qualify, as said by Abby.
100.
Conan is up against it. He has to win by 4 legs to 2 or better.
60.
There is a scenario where Conan wins the match by 4 legs to 3 but doesn't go through. That he doesn't want.
100.
He wants to win by a distance to confine the others to the second position. So, the only way
83.
that Conan is going to win this group is if he wins by 4 legs to 0. So if he loses a leg, the best he can hope for
100.
is second place in the group. In a funny sort of way, he might want second because he's got a really good record against Darryl Pilgrim this week.
Yeah, he has. And almost touched the tension.
81. Arron, you require 164.
Yeah, both players will be fully aware of those permutations. We do have a
89. Going to require 120.
We'll give them the information on request.
120 the effort. That's a good single.
100.
Well, he decided to stay on the left-hand side. And I just thought he might try and throw it at stem height there and just try and snag it in. It's double top for Arron.
Yeah, that's
and he takes the lead.
In the first leg.
One down, 2 to go.
18 dart hold for Arron.
Second leg, it's going to throw first.
Game Barbarian.
It's interesting, isn't it, watching? from these chairs because you can see the
safety of these chairs.
92.
It's almost as if Conan was an angry dog and someone's just taken his treat. And he's saying, I don't want to show my emotions, but my mouth just curled up a little bit as if to say, give me my treat back. Now, if Arron was to
43
win this match, he's looking very, very good. He would win the group and would go into the second semi-final to play Colin Osborne with the darts. He's not worried about winning by a margin.
123.
He may be thinking about getting those 3 legs for safety, but the way that Arron thinks is, I just want to win a game of darts. He doesn't tend to overthink about things like this, and he does have a lot of experience with us. That's our first 180 of this contest, and it's a pretty significant one.
Arron, you require
Isn't it, Chris
88.
Mason?
Well, we have now reached our 15,000th 180. A milestone, that is.
48.
And it's Arron who has hit the 15,000th. I wonder who hit the first.
100.
It'd be funny if it was
Arron,
Arron,
you require
because he was involved in the first week.
He was.
I'm going to find out for you. Double 10. Double 5.
35.
Silly Arron.
Going to require 117.
Oh, it's on. Oh, he's missed the big 17. Wowzers.
77. Arron, you require 5.
1 for double 2. Double 2 now. He's just shaking off a bit of tension there. Conan can't believe he's not giving himself a chance at tops.
Yeah, that's game short.
He's not relenting, is he? Now it's
Arron
one
Monk.
more leg for Monk to eliminate Whitehead. Interesting call there from Monk, actually, to step away after the single one. But he did something that I talk to my clients about in coaching, is that if your arm is feeling tense, give it a shake. It works.
Yep.
100.
Literally just takes the tension out of the tricep.
180.
It's going to have to be 4 straight legs from here for Whitehead. But there is nothing he can't do under this roof. This is his place.
100.
He's done more here than anybody.
Well, it is a church, so would we call him the vicar?
83.
He is the father, because his daughter's in the room.
Yeah.
135.
I was going to try and put in a Father Ted joke there, but I think it's probably best not.
Has that not been cancelled, or is it one of the few things that's managed to
83.
survive?
It was a bit like Faulty Towers and Blackadder goes fourth. They only made a certain amount of series. Then, unfortunately, the star died.
Yes, that's right.
Which is a really, really big shame. But I do have the answer to the first maximum, by the way.
130.
The first maximum hit
155.
with us at the start of last year in Southampton was Martin Adams.
I was just about to say, I bet it was Martin.
He hit 3 in the first game that he played.
Wow.
And
73.
Conan is on the cusp
Arron,
of
you require
elimination.
36.
Double 18.
Jelle that missed doubles
Conan, you
against
require
Arron.
82.
Is it now Aaron's turn?
Tops to survive.
Yeah, that's game short in the third.
Things are getting
Conan
interesting. You had your chance to knock him out, Arron. But he's a very
Forward
hard man
gets
to
Conan
move.
to throw first. Game on.
A bit like going to the gym and seeing those sleds that you can pull and push down the track.
140.
And then you realise, oh, there's 200 kilos on it. I've got to somehow push that about 50 metres. Well, Aaron's very strong. And he was in position to get over the line there, but in a somewhat gym-style analogy, that sled has been put all the way back to the beginning again.
Yep. And you've got to
56.
push it all the way back down the track. And that track is 501 points long for Arron Monk.
Can you imagine climbing Everest, getting within about 10 meters and the Sherpa saying, you did everything wrong, do it again.
Yeah. Well, you slip on a bit of ice and slide all the way back down to the bottom again.
I know what they say about Everest. The hardest bit is getting down.
39.
Got to switch here. Intelligent. Trying to leave a finish with your last dart.
59.
He didn't get what he wanted, but at least he went the right route.
Just knew this was coming.
180.
Well, if Monk
96.
does not get 3 legs,
86.
clear a path. Double 16.
Yeah,
Conan's coming. It's now best of 3, but Conan is just like Greg Louganis right now at the edge of the diving board.
Targets, Adam to throw first.
But he hasn't been tipped over the edge yet.
The scenario, of course, Arron needs one more leg. Conan
93.
For him to get one more leg because it will eliminate him. He has to win the next 2. He'd love to find a rich vein of form like he showed in our final match last night, where he averaged joint highest average we've seen at this venue of 115.62.
That's right.
134.
And those
60.
And he missed one at tops in leg 1 off the back of 120. And in leg 2, missed the big 17 to get a go on tops on the back of a 117.
You got any ideas why Aaron's called a mad monk?
29.
Yeah.
Doesn't take a genius to work it out. But he's definitely saved his most aggressive style of
41.
game for this evening, and he is 6 to 9 darts away from getting his way through.
I think it's a balance with him. He can play aggressively, but he's got to be playing well. Otherwise it doesn't quite work for him. It's sort of a balance, isn't it? And it's a very fine balance with Arron.
Is there an element of truth that maybe he wants to play in this style more when certain people are present?
Well, possibly. He doesn't play that often in front of Colin.
45.
His father, the former world master, and a former world championship semi-finalist as well, amongst many other titles
26.
to his name.
Arron, you decline 20.
Maybe raising the white flag. He never will raise it literally, but from this position, it doesn't look good.
No score.
Sensibly busting the score, so he goes back to 20.
81.
Oh, that's a disaster of a last start.
Sums up his night, that.
I think it does.
Horrible deflection, leaving a non-finish.
No
you
score.
Can sense the tension around getting this third leg.
The urgency.
Do yourself a favour, Aaron. Don't miss it again.
No.
Don't miss it again.
25. Arron, you require 20.
He hasn't missed it this time. And Arron Monk is qualified for the semi-finals. Conan Whitehead, somewhat christened the king of the live lounge over the last couple of months.
6 targets, going to
throw have to
first.
wait to make Champions Week again to try and defend his Super Series 1 title, because tonight is not his night.
140. 100.
Well, the story of my tips for the last 3 days has been 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I went for the favourite, which was Whitehead at 13 to 5. So if you tipped
100,
either Monk, Klaasen, Osborne, or Pilgrim, Still in the running.
Yep.
135.
Oh, that dip on the hook. He was looking more like Richie Burnett.
100.
An amazing event in Cwmbran today with some serious legendary names.
114. Going to require 161.
Kevin Kenny and Dave Lee. Richie
Kevin
Burnett.
Kenny.
Sean Palfrey, Peter Johns, Peter Locke.
78. Aaron, you require 152.
An array of old players and a group of old players from Ireland as well. And there was a big event going on, like a
47. Going to require 83.
I was tempted to drive down and drive back, but it was a little bit too far.
It's been too far for Conan. He's looking at double 9.
65.
And you know for a fact Monk is going 25 tops here. It's just got him written all over
this week he's done ball 5 ball.
He can't do anything with a 2.
26. Going to require 18. Yeah, that's game
well
shot
done
in
by
the sixth
Conan.
leg. Conan Whitehead.
Still looking for a victory. He'd like to finish on a win. Let's have a little chat about
final leg.
position.
It's Arron the throw first. Game on.
One person who can't affect what happens in this last leg is Jelle Klaasen, of course. He has qualified. Monk wins this leg.
58.
Tops the group. Conan wins it. Jelle tops the group.
Here's who was there today, amongst others: Wayne Warren, Sean Palfrey, Marshall James, Ken
100.
Thomas, Peter Johns, Barry Bates, Mike Veach, Peter Locke, Wayne Locke, Dave Lee, Alan Thomas, Richie Burnett, Kevin Kenny, and a select side from Ireland, including Billy O'Brien.
46.
And it was Wales against UK Arrows today, and then the Irish select versus the UK Arrows tomorrow.
81.
At the Cwmbran Working Men's Club. So if you like to go and see a few legends, that is the place to be.
Oh, you're going tomorrow.
140.
I wasn't driving home tonight, which means I'll be home around 4 a.m. I am very tempted.
100.
If Arron wins the leg, he wins the group, and he will have a little break between this game and the next. But if he loses this leg,
97.
he'll have to stay on. Now, is that an advantage or a disadvantage?
Quite sure it's been a very tense match, hasn't it? And it does
55.
take it out of you mentally.
Arron, you
leave
require
a little bit fried.
160.
You fancy another Klaasen Monk game in the final tonight? I'll just whet your appetite, haven't
Only
I?
if it's his best of 19.
85.
How many times has Conan left bogey numbers in this match? It's twice, I believe. It's not damaging him from a qualification
95.
perspective right now.
Arron, you require 75.
But maybe it did in the previous leg that he lost. Double 12. Monk's missed a lot of doubles in this match.
69.
Maybe too many.
You require 70.
It's now 14 that he's missed. Conan's only missed 3.
38.
Make that 4.
Arron, you require 6.
You get the feeling that Arron knows every single permutation about this match. Double 1.
No score.
He's at the wrong one.
Conan, you require
And if Conan hits this
32.
double 16, Monk will have to come back to the board pretty
Game,
soon, and he will.
shot, and a match.
Conan wins by 4
Whitehead.
legs to 3, but unfortunately, Conan does not make his way through this group. I think they're trying to figure out who's qualified. Maybe they didn't know what the permutations were, but Conan, I think, knows his fate. Klaasen's through, Monk is through. We will take a short break, and when we come back, it will be Chris Mason and Abby on the balcony just picking the bones out of what we've seen so far this evening. But when we do come back for some action, it's going to be Pilgrim against Monk, and it's going to be a second semi-final after that, so don't go far.
This is the MODUS Super Series. $180.
And don't forget, you can visit dartshop.tv to book your free tickets for finals night, and you could be here as soon as next Saturday night, of course. But it is finals night. We've just seen Arron Monk lose his last game, but he is still through to the semi-finals despite that defeat to Conan Whitehead in that last match. Just a word on Conan Whitehead, though, because after losing his first match of the night, we know what he is like. We know his character. We expected that flip, didn't we, in him?
Yeah, it just wasn't there tonight. It can happen some nights. You just feel a little bit flat. Had quite a late night last night. Played the final match, and he really did produce a monstrous average. And sometimes, and I've said it before, it comes with its own pressure because you just want to replicate that performance, and more often than not, you don't. And you're on the back foot. Then you lose that. I've said all night, winning that opening match is imperative for me because you're just on the back foot all night.
And as for Arron Monk, you can tell how much he wants this. You can see how much it means to him. Do you think that could be a hindrance at any point tonight?
Yeah, you can want it too much. I mean, we've seen it with great players, Terry Jenkins, Ronnie Baxter, and the current crop, Michael Smith. You know, you want it too much. And like yesterday and the day before, we've seen a nice balance of an aggressive approach, but a focused approach to go with it. Tonight, that focus isn't quite there, and that may catch him out, but you never know. Anything can happen in the semis and the finals.
Yeah, he certainly seems more emotionally invested in it tonight, doesn't he? And that could end up being a little bit of a hindrance. But Colin Osborne, we spoke at the top of the show about him and how he'd need to up his level. At the moment, those averages in the high 80s seem to be enough for him, don't they?
Yeah, and they can often be on finals night. And he's pragmatic, isn't he? He's a very cool customer. Goes about his business quietly. You know, he just gets up there, plays darts. And like I said in the interview with Nico tonight, listen, if they go, they go. If they don't, they don't. And sometimes that can be the best attitude.
Indeed. Our first semi-final sees Darryl Pilgrim take on Arron Monk. For Arron Monk, it's such a quick turnaround, of course, involved in our last match. How do you keep yourself up for that? Is it in some ways better because you don't have that time to dip if you're involved in the second semi? Yeah,
and there's no stewing time. He won't, you know, although he did what he had to do in getting those 3 legs, it wasn't pretty. So you haven't got a lot of time to just stew over it and ask the questions. You'll literally get backstage, get in the players' room, sit down for 5 minutes, have a probably 9, 12 darts, and then you're ready to go again. And as for Darryl Pilgrim, he's done what he's needed to get the 2 victories, but he has looked incredibly edgy at the end of legs. Of course, a superb 108 there, but that hasn't painted the whole picture, is it? No, and he's another player that hasn't looked comfortable all night. You can tell that there's a lot of pressure on it. It was a tough group. I mean, 3 of the 6 players were in Champions Week. You know, there's a lot of respect, and sometimes there can be too much. Someone's got to basically put down a marker and say, right, I'm winning this. And as for the second semi-final, Colin Osborne against Jelle Klaasen, how do you see that one going? Because Jelle Klaasen's had a bit of double trouble tonight as well. Yeah, exactly that. If Jelle gets his doubles game in order, he could be the man to beat tonight. He's one that's sort of gone under the radar. We've said it all week, haven't we? He's quietly gone about his business, produced some massive finishes. He's either going to take a big finish out or he's going to need 6 or 7 darts at a double. But, you know, that can all be forgotten. Yeah, and he certainly upped his level towards the back end of this week. Right then, it is semi-final time here at the Super Series. Let's tuck into our first of 2, of course, and hand back over to Paul Nicholson.
Yeah, past the knife and fork, Abby. Let's tuck into this. This one could be a bit juicy. But I think we have 2 different approaches in this first semi-final between Darryl Pilgrim, who won Group 1, and Arron Monk, who had a bit of a helter-skelter when it came to Group 2. He should have won the group. He didn't. But at least he's here, and he's got a chance. But I, like Mace, believe that maybe the aggression has to be tempered by Monk because he's up against another very, very capable former weekly winner with us here in Super Series darts. Admittedly, Pilgrim has not won under this roof, but he's looking to get his first win in Portsmouth to add to his one win that he got in Southampton. But I just get the feeling, Mace, that maybe after saying it earlier tonight to Arron, that he still hasn't got that weekly win in 2 calendar years with us, that maybe it's having an effect.
Yeah, maybe it's his time. He rode his luck tonight against Jelle. Just about did enough against Conan.
57.
And often when these kind of things happen and we reflect and look back, you'll go, oh, remember that one? A bit like Peter Wright when he won the Worlds, and Gezi Price when he was taken all the way to the deciding sets of matches consecutively. And it's just, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah, what can you do when the pressure is at its highest? Can you keep your cool?
125.
And that's the big thing I worry about Arron. It's how he reacts to situations that in one case were in his control and he allows them to be out of control.
Well, let us paint a bit of a picture of that, because you mentioned Gavin Price. He was in a match at the World Championships with Brendan Dolan.
26.
They
Darryl
were
require 120.
tied in sets. They were tied in legs. They were in a last leg decider. They were on the same score in the last leg decider. Price had the first crack. I think it might have been 72. Took it out in 3 darts. He misses that.
55.
He doesn't become world champion, potentially.
Maybe he doesn't become world #1.
There you go.
It's It's fine and tiny margins.
180
in the first leg.
Darryl, you require is 65.
Pilgrim gets a very decent first look. Tops for a 14. Well, it's not in the way.
45. Arron, you require 113.
But if you look back at that match and look throughout it, neither player were particularly animated because they were in control of their emotions.
95.
Arron Monk just plays
Darryl, you require
with
20.
his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he? I honestly, I much prefer the version we've seen in the week.
Yeah, that's game short in the first
focused
line.
but
Darryl
aggressive,
Pilgrim.
but not giving that tell to his opponents.
I think he's having an effect on the practice room as well, because the way that Pilgrim grasped that dart out of the double 10. I mean, what's the double 10 done to you, Darryl?
Well, Arron is not shy. He's
54.
not backwards and coming forwards, that's for sure. And he will have been on the wind-up in there.
Do you know what? I
Probably
think
already claiming the title.
Yeah. One thing I will say about Darryl, though, is that he's had so many Saturday nights and only one title. So I said to him on Thursday, do you feel that you should have had more? And he thoroughly believes he should have. But
44.
we're talking about maybe 2 underachievers. And I know that comes across as slightly harsh, but when you've been in so many Saturday nights over the last 2 years, to see that there's only been 1 title for the both of them, that is, for me, an underachievement. If you look at Monk, for instance, in Super Series 1, he lost
60
in the group stage of week 1. Then he was fortunate to get the invite back, and he lost in the final to Scott Williams of week 9. So he is constantly getting close. He's getting to Saturday nights.
100.
Pilgrim is very much, he's almost tattooed on Saturday nights over the last year. But the fact that he's only got 1 title, for me, is an underachievement. I think he should have had more.
Yeah, well, when you break down the numbers and look at the ability, you can pretty much say that about both. In a lot of the stats regarding averages, 180s and
99
finishes and 170s and low legs, they both feature heavily.
$140.
Arron's playing catch up
76.
pretty much all match already.
Yeah,
I know we're only 1.5 legs in, but he's constantly got a deficit already.
Yeah, there's just too many troublous visits in this leg. 3 visits in the scoring
40.
phase.
Arron, you require
44, 60 and
145.
58, and that's just not going to cut it in a semi-final here. And then, you know, when you go behind early in a leg,
56.
and you know what it's like.
Darryl, you
Paul,
require 36.
get into that chase mode and that chase mentality.
Yeah, that's came
that's
short of
very
the second
efficient
line.
from Darryl.
Darryl Pilgrim.
16 darter again.
Yeah, back-to-back 16s, 16 darts.
Third leg is Darryl the throw first.
Divided
Game on.
by 501 is 93.94, which is, yes, it's into that 6-visit territory, but again, that's an example of
58.
how the averages can sometimes be a little deceiving.
Just looking at Darryl's history, he's been a runner-up twice, as well as winning that one time. He lost in Champions Week of Phase 1 this
59.
year when we were in Southampton. He lost to Jim McEwen.
No shame in that.
No, not at all. He lost to Ryan Finesse in Phase 3 in Week 3, and that was the one that got away.
Yeah.
87.
But he
Jim
did put...
Jim McEwen, of course, he was our opening week winner in Series 2.
140.
Yeah, that was a really interesting evening.
A month ago, wasn't it?
Oh, time flies.
No, it doesn't feel like 5 weeks ago I was playing. Well, that was the last time I picked up a dart.
59.
Well, you've got to pace yourself.
Oh, I know.
Always peak for the right time.
That's something I've learned in my
134
latter years.
These guys for making the semi-finals have guaranteed themselves £1,250. So this is a double your money game. Get yourself to the final. You're guaranteed £2,500. And then another double your money game at the end of the night for the big check for the week. £5,000 to the winner. Already banked by Jim McEwen, Alex Merckx and Justin Smith a week ago.
Yeah, I was pleased for Justin. Nice to see. And Arron will be pleased to see himself on a double. And he doesn't mind double 17.
105. Arron, you
double
require
17, tops on
34.
74.
Don't know why. Love this guide. Slider. Just do it again.
17.
Just overpitched it.
Yeah, massively.
Darryl, you require
I'll be shocked
96.
to see this go pop, pop, 60-36. It's a good guide.
Yeah, I'm with you there, mate.
56. Arron, you
A lot
require
of people
17.
without Darryl's intelligence would have gone double-double there, but staying with the guide was the right thing to do. It didn't pay off, but at least he did the right thing.
Yeah, that's game short in the first
Just
line.
sneaks it in for
Arron
2-1. That might be the little bit of fortune that Arron needed to get back in this match.
He can, if he holds throw in leg
Forward
4, because
leg,
that
it's
was a
Arron the
break
throw
back.
first. Game on.
And if you win the week, and as
93.
Conan did, and then go on to win Champions Week, it's with your appearance fees is the best part of 30 grand.
Yeah, that third leg is what I like to call a mountain leg.
140.
Breakback mountain.
Well, he would have had a mountain to climb had he gone 3-0 down. I mean, last year when
59.
Pro Tours were 10 grand for the winner, it's the equivalent of winning 3 Pro Tours, which I can assure you isn't easy.
Yeah, when I won 3, it was £6,000 the winner. Now you get £8,000 for making the final.
100.
It was 2 when I won them.
You just made me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I think it was 2.
121.
Because I actually won back-to-back ranking events. The one in West Tyrone was 1,500, and I think the UK Open qualifier was 2 grand, 3.5
57.
grand, winning 2 tournaments, and that the one in West Tyrone was more like a Euro Tour event. I think I'd be up round £37,000 now if I did the equivalent.
54.
A little bit of a difference.
A little bit of a difference in inflation and the influx of money from the promoter, you could say.
Yeah.
56.
Semi-final in the match play was only 3,000.
me just pass you a tissue.
Yeah.
60.
Arron, stop getting
Darryl, you
frustrated.
require 148.
Got to focus. Got to breathe.
Well, and the problem is when you become that animated, it will leak over into the next visit.
44. Arron, you require
He's a plumber, isn't he?
114.
The last thing you want to do is leave a leak. And he's a gas engineer as well. The last thing he needs is a gas leak. Well, fix it.
Yeah, that's game short in the
There he
forward line.
goes.
Arron
Someone
Monk.
got the old solder out and fixed the pipe. Is that what they use? Just goes to show how much I know about
Fifth
plumbing.
flag is Darryl to throw
Sort
first.
of, mate.
Game on.
I'll just get a little text off to Mark Webster. He knows a bit or two about the old plumbing.
What did you used to do for a job?
I was an
99.
investment counsellor for the Australian government.
Wow.
I used to perform
Boss job.
seminars about how people like firefighters, teachers, tram drivers,
57.
all public servants would use their government superannuation, as they called it, the pension savings, how they could maximise it throughout their careers and
46.
figure out when they could retire.
Do you have pensions?
Plural.
Didn't invest all your money in Bitcoin then?
No.
134.
Do a silly thing like that.
And more of a
I bet that poor fellow who's got God knows how many millions, and he had it on
60.
his hard drive that mistakenly got thrown out, and his password is saved on all that, and he can't access it, and he was buying Bitcoins when they were
100.
next to nothing. And it's in a tip somewhere in Wales.
Good luck finding that. You're more likely to find a 4-2 victory in this game.
96.
Because Pilgrim seems to have been the boss of this game. It's mid-80s stuff. So, not quite trash, you could say.
57.
But not exactly gold or a hard drive full of Bitcoin. I remember a story about a guy who had a few Bitcoin and he traded them in for pizza. I think they ended up being worth something like 350 grand.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the mistakes
44.
we make. See, Arron,
Arron,
you got to
you
learn
require
from us. We know.
153.
Don't make
We've made
mistakes.
them.
This is not a mistake. This is not a mistake.
135.
Double 18 on that back of
Darryl, you require
incredible 147
156.
to defeat Jelle Klaasen.
Hey, don't get anything for a 147 here when it's not Champions Week. Anybody who says something about Ronnie O'Sullivan next, just keep it to
56.
yourself.
Arron, you require 18.
That's like me before I even thrown it out, looking at
Yeah,
Marco
that's
and
game
going,
short in the
"What,
fifth
is there
flag.
anything for a
Arron
nine?"
Monk.
Arron doesn't care all of a sudden. He's 3-2 up, one more leg, and he'll be in
Six
another
flag, it's
final
Arron
here.
to throw first. Game on.
Who will he play? Will it be Jelle Klaasen? Or will it be Colin Osborne? They're up next.
Or will he be pegged back by Pilgrim?
60.
Got a certain ring to it, that. Pegged back by Pilgrim.
100.
It's a bit easier to say than purple burglar alarm for Scottish people. That one,
Yeah.
that one made me chuckle a little bit. I was dying to get Nathan Girvin to try and say it.
100.
incredible. I've heard it online. It's hilarious.
I'm actually going up to Scotland in a few weeks. I'm going to get all my Scottish friends to say it.
You're up to
100.
Granite City or?
Yeah, going to Aberdeen.
Very
Love
nice.
that city.
I love Scotland. Absolutely adore it.
We're not that far away from announcing who's playing next week.
180.
And Chris has got the list, but he's not allowed to let it out until the end of semi-final 2. And Monk is on the cusp of winning semi-final 1.
60.
It just
Arron, you
hasn't
require
clicked for Pilgrim.
161.
He's averaging 82. Monk is starting to get better.
Well, very much like Conan tonight. I was discussing with
90.
Avi, but he played last game last night and produced that magnificent average, and Sometimes you can try end up trying a little bit too hard, or it can leave you a little flat.
87. Arron,
I
you
think
require
flat is the
71.
right word, because there's been a lot of shots out there that have puzzled Mr. P. And Monk is looking at a match dart at tops.
51.
Well, at the point of no return.
Darryl, you require 154.
The DP.
I thought he was going to start playing the spoons on his thighs there.
Should be just about it.
98.
Darryl Pilgrim. Arron, three
Arron, you
darts in
require
hand.
20.
A double tap.
Just don't do what Jelle did earlier. Don't keep missing.
Game.
He's in there,
Shots
he's in the final,
match.
and
Arron
Mr.
Monk.
P is not this week. You may see him again, but it may depend on what lies in his darting future. It's not to be a second title for Darryl Pilgrim, but it may be a first for Arron Monk. He will have another crack at a final at the MODUS Super Series. It wasn't a classic, as those averages do state, but the next game might just be a classic, because we have two PDC title winners in the second semi-final. Klaasen against Osborne is next.
Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, where we have our first player through to tonight's final. Arron Monk beating Darryl Pilgrim in that last match. It wasn't a classic, was it? I think the averages certainly reflect that. 85 from Arron Monk and 82.8 from Pilgrim in that match. 4 out of 12 on the outer ring from Monk in that one. And Monk found himself 2 down early on, didn't he? And it felt like Pilgrim was well in control of that match. match, but Monk unable to approach the Oki with that same demeanour that we saw from him in Group C. But in the end, he was able to turn that one around, inspired by a 3-figure outshot. That 1-1-4 really helped him turn the screw in that match. And it did look at one point like Arron Monk's wait for a weekly title here was going to go on and on, but he still has another chance this evening because he is our first finalist. Who will he meet in that final? Well, we're about to find out as Colin Osborne takes on Jelle Klaasen in this one. Colin Osborne defeated in his last match, but he did take out a superb 130 checkout in that one. We can see that on our screens now. And then Jelle Klaasen, of course, came through with that win in his first match, a 4-2 victory over Conan Whitehead. He was then defeated 4-3 in his second match, but he did take out a 90 on the bull, which proved to be the leg required to get himself into the semi-final. Jelle did miss 9 match darts in this one against Arron Monk, but because of the leg difference, he still finds himself, of course, through to the semi-final. They have, of course, met 3 times already this week in Group A. All of those matches went to deciding legs. Will we see the same in this one? Let's find out and hand back over to our commentary team.
Thanks, Abby. Oh, Jelle away from the live league has picked up 4 wins against Colin, who has got 6 wins over Jelle. But in the Super Series and the live league before it, it's 5-2 to Colin. So he has the advantage in that department in this format. Could well be a 7-leg battle.
First leg, it's Jelle to throw first. Game on.
He will get this one underway. Who will meet Arron
134.
Take their spot in Champions Week and take away £5,000. Serious money. Over £1 million annually available here at
78
the Super Series. Going overall head-to-heads, combined
92.
9-8. Colin Osborne.
93.
Going to be 4-3, isn't it, Nicole?
Of course it is. We've said it now. It's out there. It's in the ether. I just like these games.
59.
Because they have legacies, these players.
Yep.
With all due respect to some of the players who have done really well over the last couple of years.
100.
They haven't done what these guys have done. They haven't made UK Open finals. They haven't made Lakeside finals and won them. These guys have got incredible things on their CV, but
100.
They still have desire and drive to do other things. They want to evolve with the sport from
56.
the inside.
Going to require 150.
First semi-final they played in when we were playing under the previous rules, where we did have a 3rd and 4th place playoff. Jelle won that one 4-3.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good game either. I remember commentating on that. It was a bit smelly.
It was.
Yeah, that's came short in the first leg.
Hello. 150 out.
And acknowledged. Bit of class.
Second leg, it's Colin the throw first. Game on.
Arron is in the crowd. Looking pretty confident, but if I were him, I'd be sitting down, just breathing a little bit, getting ready for the final. And he's just seen Colin Osborne take 150 checkout. So these guys, well, whoever comes through is going to be ready for you, Arron.
Yeah, if I was him, I'd be into the players' lounge. I say sit down for 5 minutes. You can watch it on the big monitor in there. I'll be coming up with a strategy for final and just trying to get a cool head.
Here's a good idea for a bit of YouTube content. How about, you ever watch that thing Cribs on MTV?
28.
I have.
We could have a Cribs episode of the Modus Live Lounge.
Yeah.
I have to open the door and say, "Oh, hi, this is what I've got in the fridge. This is where the magic happens."
If Conan would have won tonight,
60.
he'd actually done it his house.
We still could. He is the defending champion.
135.
I will do a little video of it behind the scenes. I was hoping Matt Edgar was going to do it, and my apologies, it's not Matt Edgar next week.
97.
Henry Deacon alongside Glenn Durrant, the 3-time
96.
world champ and former PDC Premier League champion and a former 3-time world master. He wasn't bad.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. He's from the borough as well. Good pal of Collins.
177.
He's here to play. This is definitely better than the previous semi-final they played. Well, semi-final of sorts.
62. Colin Udicar 12.
2 6s.
Yeah, that's
He
game short
looks
in the second
sharp,
play.
and it may have
Colin
something to
Osborne.
do with the fact that he hasn't had concurrent matches tonight. He's had breaks in between games. He played match
Third
1,
leg, it's
he
yellow to
played
throw
match
first.
5.
Game on.
He's involved in match 8, but more than anything, he wants to be involved in match 9.
97.
Yeah, he's not really been tested. He won that opening match, of course. 4-2, fairly comfortably against Gavin Carlin. Fair play to Gavin. He stayed on, supporting the players.
100.
That's clinical so far. 150 checkout for a 15.
140.
7-7 in leg 2 and out in 16. 2 from 2 on the doubles.
You and I get on really, really well with Mark Webster, and he somewhat removes the Michael from our commentary
100.
friend Stuart Pike by his line, "Classy, classy, crossy." You remember that?
Yeah.
I think he won the European Championship when he hit that, something like that. Anyway. 180 hit there for Klaasen. And I suppose if he wins tonight, it'd have to be clinical Klaasen, which is a bit of a tongue twister at this time of the morning.
It is.
59. Yellow Udicar 84.
Sensibly.
44.
Just teeing up tops. No need to go 14 ball with Colin back on 2-4-2. 2 tons and a 59 here, Colin, but been blown away by the 97, 140, 180.
140. Yellow
in the
Udicar
scoring
40.
phase.
Yeah, that's
Klaasen.
game short in the third leg. Jelle Klaasen.
Funny how he hasn't changed his equipment the last couple of days since he got a really good start on Friday night. And
Fourth leg, it's
you've
Colin
been
to
here
throw
all week, mate.
first. Game on.
Been here for 2 weeks.
I joined you on Thursday.
Part-timer.
What have you made of Jelle's comfort in playing night versus day?
100.
Yeah, he's looked much more confident playing at night, and I think he's said as much in a couple of interviews
57.
he's done this week, where he's openly admitted he's not a morning person, and if you said he's a bit of a sleeper, isn't he?
95.
That's one of the things about the Professional Darts Corporation circuit, because you don't start until 12. You don't
41.
start at 9:30 in the morning. It's a really difficult discipline to come through a Group A or a Group C.
Tell me about it.
Aussie made it
135.
look comfortable over the first 3 days. 22 points, won it by 6 points.
96.
Again, it goes down to that thing, and it doesn't matter what discipline of darts you're playing, whether pro or part-time pro or semi-pro or even active amateur.
131.
Got to manage your downtime. Not had a misstart at a double in this match yet, Paul.
40. Colin, you
Well
require
said.
40.
Will that continue? If it does, Osborne will be 3-1 up. To the right.
Yeah, that's game short.
Just
on the
about.
Down the
Colin
pipe.
Osborne.
And that was a 14-darter. This game is being played.
Fifth flag, it's
Wonderful
Jelle to
pace
throw
and with
first.
a high quality.
Game on.
What is it about Osborne?
Check these out.
Everything he does is classic.
96.
Everything. Well, look at the way he toes his hockey there, just very lightly. Just
And that's a
doesn't.
little.
Yeah, just little hop there, just getting himself comfy.
Well,
You know, beautiful action, just a somewhat graceful dart
60.
throw. Even when the way he drinks his water, he makes it look, oh yeah, I'm at a dinner party.
He's on the pace and he's doing it with some grace. You could say
180.
rather graceful as well. And he needed it. It's a must-win leg.
Maybe the biggest quality that
140.
Osborne has had throughout all of his career. Never panicked.
No, and he's an absolute gentleman in victory or defeat. A very,
96.
very nice fella.
Makes me laugh a lot. He's just got a wonderful sense of humour, but he's got a really good outlook on life as well.
Well, he said to you this
55.
evening, they go,
Yelle, you
they
require
don't, and that's so
129.
you don't load yourself with pressure. Enjoyed many trips away at events.
89.
Colin always had a great laugh. Done many an exhibition with him as well.
I
Great fun.
think of all the people that he's travelled and roomed with over the years, I think the one person who extracted the most
83.
fun out of
Yelle,
him
you
was Andy
require
Hamilton.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's game short.
Oh,
on
and
the
Jelle
fifth
still
flag.
hasn't missed a
Jelle
double.
Klaasen.
5 legs of sheer brilliance on the outer ring.
Well,
Six
we've only
flag, it's
had
Colin to throw first. Game on.
one leg over 15, and that was a 16. Leg 2 from Colin. He's won in 15, 16, and 14. So 45 darts in total. And 2 legs
140.
from Jelle. Combined 26 darts, 2 13 darters.
96.
Yeah, this is a game being played by 2 top pros. And that whole narrative about you aren't a pro unless you're on the
100.
PDC circuit in the top 128, there's a very definitive way of putting that to bed.
Yeah, can I say it? It's after midnight.
140.
It begins with B. There's probably 75% of those 128 have got jobs.
You can classify yourself as a semi-pro if you so wish. You can classify yourself as a professional if it's all you do. It's as simple as that. When I wasn't a PDC pro anymore, I removed the word professional from my Twitter bio because that was my
92.
choice.
Yeah, it's a strange one. If
95.
Ooh, down to 170.
Yeah, he got himself in a bit of bother with a 170 earlier. He missed
Yeah.
it on the bull, and after that, he lost the match to Monk. Osborne has got 169. Yes, he can't finish it.
57.
And unfortunately,
Yelle, you
he can't
require 170.
really leave himself anything mega gettable. Oh, he's on it again.
Well, if Klaasen wins this leg,
125.
the honour in the decider.
Colin, you require
Could turn out
112.
to be key.
It is to win, and he's got a marker. A marker which was very kind, double 16 to make the final. It would be his first final in a while. He wasn't ready.
$80.
That was not far
Yelle, you
away.
require
Great
45.
Jelle has had double trouble. Not so far
5.
in this match until then. He was 2 from 2.
Colin, you require 32.
Slightly different mentality with 3 in hand.
This is for his first final since February.
Same hole.
16.
Oh, there was a little bit of nerves there.
Yellow, you
You just
require
don't know
40.
if he's going to get another shot, because like you said, Mace, if this goes, Jelle's got the darts.
30.
And Klaasen will despise all 3 shots.
Yeah, none of them were.
Colin, you
scared.
require 16.
At the 3rd time of asking. 3rd time lucky.
He's fortunate to be coming back. Double 4.
12.
He doesn't get there.
Yellow, you require 10.
Wow.
That's 7.
Yeah.
Double 1.
No score.
And that's not in.
Colin, you require
Colin
4.
has looked a little shaky on this match opportunity, but he doesn't hesitate in going for double 2.
No score.
And he's now missed
Yellow, you require 10.
almost the same amount of doubles that Jelle missed in one of his previous group games.
That's game
And
short.
we're going the distance. How now will that affect Osborne, who should have been done and dusted? This is a real test of his mental strength.
7-10 final leg. It's Yellow to throw first.
Colin
Game
will
on.
be boiling over inside. What an opportunity to make the final. Both look super nervous.
119.
How much in the way of fortune has Jelle used up tonight? Because in coming through Group 2, which was loaded with talent, he had to survive
95.
some crazy scenarios just to be here.
Yeah.
And now he's survived 9 match darts. Maybe, as you would say, Mace, names on pot, lad.
Aye.
100.
Well, it could well be for both of our players in the final, because Arron had to come through a very similar situation to that of Klaasen.
42.
Like always, when you have all those opportunities to get it done, you carry over the disappointment into the very next leg, and
84.
that's what's happening here with Colin. He needs a max, and he's not hit one in this semi-final yet.
140.
The 140 gets him in touch.
Still, Klaasen has 6 to get rid of 198.
The arm looks tight. All of a sudden, the delivery of the darts, it's starting to be short by half an inch.
Well, usually given the absolute best of order here, I'm not sure if
56.
somebody dropped something or... Before people question what the players play in front of 5,000 people making loads of noise. Well, once
84.
there's that constant
Yellow, you
rumble
require
of noise,
142.
it's fine. But when you're playing and getting given the best of order, one bit of noise can be very off-putting.
Absolutely. You'd rather have white noise than
42.
the sound of £2
Colin, you
coins
require
being
140.
rolled together. And we did see a 147 from Monk to beat Klaasen earlier. This would be equally as seismic. Got to move.
40.
And they're both
Yellow,
on
you
3
require
legs, both on a
100.
ton. They can't be split.
Both have thrown 15 darts.
No match
60.
start. Does Osborne
Colin, you require
get a
100.
10th? Tops is his favourite double. He needs it twice. There's one.
60.
The second one doesn't go in.
Yellow, you require 40.
Double 10.
30.
I don't know how much more I can take of this game. My nerves are
Colin, you
shredded.
require 40.
I fear to think how Colin feels, and Jelle for that matter. Unlucky for some 13.
35.
Wow.
Jelle, you
How many
require
lives has
10.
Klaasen used up? How many match darts have they missed in total?
5.
I don't have any fingers left.
Colin, you require 5.
Double 2 again.
No score. Jelle, you require
Sometimes
5.
you just run out of words. Double 1 for Klaasen.
No score. Colin, you require 5.
It's not a question of who wants it. They both want it. It's a question of who's going to get it. This time he steps back. Previously, he went straight for the double 2. This time he needs the breath. And this time double 1 is found. I don't know how many darts he missed for the match before he took it, but ultimately both players missed a stack of doubles in the contest. Let's look at the stats because it is going to be Osborne versus Monk in the final. The averages tell you a very interesting story, but look at the doubling. Jelle Klaasen missed 15 darts. Quite a few of them were for the match, but Osborne missed 17. You will hope that that is all down to the nerves of that semi-final, but when we return after the break, we will crown our Week 4 champion. It will be Arron Monk or Colin Osborne.
This is the MODUS Super Series. $180.
And you can book your free tickets to finals night by visiting dartshop.tv. But back here, we have our two finalists. Arron Monk will take on Colin Osborne for the right to be this week's champion and scoop the £5,000 prize, of course. Chris Mason, that last semi-final, fair to say it wasn't a classic, but those missed starts at double, Arron Monk must have been sat in the back room laughing his head off.
Yeah, I mean, up until that last leg, it was a really good game, and the averages were probably 15 points higher than the end average. But that's what pressure does to you. You can't practice those situations. Sometimes you're put in them and you react, and you deal with it easily. In that one, neither of them could get over the line. Eventually, of course, Colin, well, double one, and it was almost one of those where he shut his eyes and just threw the dart. Yeah,
it was actually quite fitting in the end that match was won on double one. But we can finally reach the point of the evening that this man has been waiting for, longing for, in fact. He's never wanted to talk to me. The only reason he's up here at all is so that he can reveal the players who are taking part in next week's action. Who are you most excited to see? We're going to put the graphic up on the screen now so you can see them. We do have Lisa Ashton in there. No win on the last two women's series blocks, of course, but in the Grand Slam, her performance against Jelle Klaasen will give her a lot of reason to be encouraged coming into this. Yeah,
she had a bit of a lean spell, but looks to be back to somewhere near her best. I thought she played wonderfully in the Slam. Debutant Jack Vincent, the Frenchman I'm really looking forward to, who recently won a challenge tour on the same weekend as Thibaut Tricol. Conor Heenan, the fella that hit a 9-darter here and was involved in the first shootout. But the one I'm really looking forward to is Andreas Harrison, Dirty Harry, a Scandinavian player. He's got a lovely action, and I think this environment will suit him perfectly.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Jamie Kelling back up on this stage as well, because when he was last here, played some really, really impressive darts, but he learned a lot from the experience as well, because he just missed out on finals night because he said he just ran out of steam. He just burnt out because he didn't quite know how to manage the situations. And that's key for a lot of these players, isn't it? Coming back here for a second or maybe third time.
Exactly, and that's why this environment is invaluable to these players going forward, because they're getting to learn how to deal with those situations. You know, they're trying to learn them on the fly, but once you've been through it once, you know, you'll have memories, some good, some bad, and you'll know how to deal with the situation again. Also looking forward to seeing Josh Richardson, who's been a massive part alongside his father in the continued success here of the Super Series. Yeah, very exciting week ahead. But first, we have a massive final coming your way. Arron Monk against Colin Osborne. Firstly, Arron Monk's finishing, right? We've talked about his mindset, we've talked about his mentality, which all can go out of the window because he still made it through to the final despite air kicks, slapping his thighs, shaking his head. He still made it through to the final. What do you make of his chances here in this final? I'm just slightly siding with Colin, because I think he's the more calmer of the two, and I think he will deal with the situation better than Arron, who always finds himself a way to get embroiled in a bit of a slugfest. I much prefer the version of Arron we've seen towards the back end of last week, where he was in control of his emotions. And the problem is, when you release those emotions and they're negative, Colin's so experienced, he will feed off of them and could potentially swallow him up. And you'd probably say as well, with these nights, they are quite long nights. You'd probably say his temperament on Thursday and Friday really would have suited this tonight, because he would have been coming into it a lot fresher as well. Yeah, absolutely. And there's less games. It's, you know, the players love this because it's almost, well, it is knockout darts from the semi-finals onwards, but because it's such a small group, it feels like knockout darts from game one, and players prefer that. Yeah, I'm surprised to see Arron so wound up, but maybe he feels like he needs to be wound up to generate the adrenaline he feels he plays better under. I think he plays better when he's calmer.
Yeah, I'd say one of the other things that we touched upon a little earlier as well is certainly the fact that he wants this title so much. He is craving a weekly title here at the Super Series. So let's tuck in then to our final. It is Arron Monk against Colin Osborne. And let's hand back over to Nico in the comms box.
Yes, thanks, Abby. And thank you for the news, of course, about next week's combatants as well. We'll chew the fat about that for a little bit when Mace makes his way down the steps. But this is our final for week 4. It is Arron Monk in his second final in the last few months. And this is the second final of the year for Colin Osborne. The last time he was in a final, he did win. But this time he is playing a male player in Arron Monk, the England international and 2011 PDC World Youth Champ. Nicknamed the Mad Monk for obvious reasons, because sometimes he gets a little bit angry. But this guy's not going to get angry. He's hopefully going to find a bit of magic. He will still be reeling, maybe, from that semi-final win against Klaasen, which saw him miss a stack of doubles, but he's still here.
First, game on.
And if you can wipe the slate clean and give yourself a chance, you just never know. You could win. In this match, £2,500 more than you've already
60.
banked. It's a double your money match, but mostly it's all about winning the title and having the guaranteed invite back for February 2023 for Champions Week. Mace has joined us, and do you feel a little bit lighter knowing that the secret is out about next week?
I just love the lineup. I'm really excited.
I'm really interested to see Jacques Laub, because he's not only the Europe Cup champion, he's a Challenge Tour winner, and France are doing things now, finally.
Well,
100.
Me and you already knew this was coming, because we called for a French side in the World Cup, didn't we? And ironically, around a month or so after
96
the World Cup this year, the two Frenchmen picked up 2 titles, one apiece.
C'est la vie. And Jack Vincent as well. 22 years of age, I believe, Jack Vincent. Great young player. Just another off the conveyor belt of excellent British-based under-25s.
Yeah, players
85
coming through the ADC system to qualify. There are just some of the events I see popping up now. They're also getting involved with doing a women's series, of course, where the winner will qualify for a place here. It is fabulous. They're a very dynamic, forward-thinking brand, which is exactly what our sport needs for the
45
amateur side of the game.
126.
It's imperative that that continues to grow.
Osborne needs 4 19s and a button. Doesn't get the requisite amount of 19s after a sneaky look around the corner. He thought he might have jagged that 57, but the acknowledgement from our Dutch referee
Arron, you require
is that
155.
he didn't get it. Monk has been not so great in the scoring phase, but in the finishing phase he is.
117.
Well, almost like a knee on the floor.
Colin, you require 68.
Getting a few lunges in.
Doesn't need to. I wouldn't do it in those trousers. Double 4.
Yeah, that's King
that'll
shot
do
in
in
the
the
first
world of good.
Osborne.
Not only a break of throw in the final at the start, but maybe getting a double right away. It just exercises the demons of the end of that semi-final.
Yeah, we'll banish the bad memories. Although ultimately, hitting the double 1 will be a good memory if he goes on and lifts this week's
100
title.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 options. Do I do it or do I not?
Do it.
So he's just done the Ace Ventura, hasn't he? I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
Great film. Great old classic.
Seems to have reinvigorated himself.
85.
Now, if you look at what happened over the last 3 weeks, we've had some very up and down weeks. Jim McEwen didn't win Group A.
180.
Alex Merckx didn't win Group A, did he? Justin Smith. Did he win Group A? I don't think he did he?
140.
So
I don't believe he did.
So we're seeing a bit of a pattern here, but if Osborne wins...
Curse of...
I mean, one person's done it.
Yeah.
One person
60.
Since we made it the MODUS Super Series. That was Graham Hall. And then he was rudely robbed of winning Group A in the Champions Week.
Yeah, he had a horrendous time, and he never recovered on the Thursday and Friday either.
100.
But we could see
Aaron
Colin Osborne win Group A
161.
and then go on to win the weekly title.
And that will be more demons exercised.
Ooh, Bull.
136.
At a 155, now a 161. He's missed them both, and he could pay for the 2 misses that he's had. They are the only 2 misses at double he's had in his final.
Yeah,
that's gorgeous. And, funnily enough, it took until Tony Wood was eliminated for me to find out what his nickname was. Nicknamed the Pincher. Oh, that's funny. Because look what Osborne's done in both legs. He's pinched them both.
96.
To say, Arron Monk has done little wrong, apart from missing one dart on doubles at the end of combination
85.
shots. One of them 155, the other 161. A little harsh.
He has got 2 maximums now.
180.
He does have an average in excess of 101. Until that deciding leg between Colin and Jelle.
140.
Game.
It was a great game of darts.
Longest leg in the match was 16, and there was 2 13s, a 14 and a 15 in there.
58.
And a 27 darter at the end.
Yeah. That starts. That's pressure.
Make for a good t-shirt, that. 13, 15, 16, 14, 27. That's darts.
Sounds like one of my Super League games.
30. Aaron, you require 167.
Great average, great average, great average. Loss. Well, Aaron's not going to worry the 167, and maybe it's a good thing that he didn't have to go for it.
It's funny in Super League, you have the ability to work out the average on the fly, and you think, ooh, this is a big one. And then 60, 59, 60, 60.
81.
Yeah,
Aaron, you
don't
require
like
74.
knowing stuff when it comes to performance. They like the bubble. Well, I don't know why he's gone for double 17.
54.
When Colin's on 165, I question the motive and I question the approach this evening.
I'm the same. I question the mentality.
57. Aaron, you require 20.
Just his way.
He's back in the final.
Yeah, that's game short in the third leg. Arron
For a man who could probably have a fight in a phone box, but it's probably good there's no phone boxes anymore.
Forward leg, it's Colin the throw first. Game on.
Is he a fan of Colin's fragrance? Because he was getting pretty close there.
He was close.
What kind of
He
fragrance
is literally
would Colin
breathing down his neck.
What would Colin have? He looks like a high karate kind of guy.
180.
Not sure. Chosen.
Tom Ford Oud Wood.
All right. I'm
60.
Very much a Creed man. I like Savage. Like a bit of Hugo Boss.
I think Colin's got obsession on because he's been obsessed with getting another title. Started with a maximum, backs it up with a 1 treble visit. This is a really good way to protect your throw.
I mean, he could be a Paco Rabanne man.
Well, we're not going to give him $1 million.
100.
Maybe yen.
think that works out to about 12 or 13,000 pounds.
All right, $500,000 yen then.
140.
Not getting the calculator out, Nico.
No,
not this time
I'm
of
not.
night.
Not at this early hour.
The only thing I've got out is pre-programming my sat-nav in the car.
Well, if anybody is
43.
tuning in from
Colin
Japan,
90.
Ohayo gozaimasu, which is good morning in Japanese.
Anybody is currently on the M27 and they see a UFO pass them, that will be me.
Yeah, that's
Oh, but it might be Colin flying towards the title. This is a great performance from Colin. And when you consider the trial he went through in that semi-final, this is an incredible bounce back. He's now within one of his first title since February. And it would mean that we wouldn't see him again this year for good reason.
Yeah, this is... We talk about it often, don't we, Nico? The bounce back ability. Yes, he won, but primarily all he would have been thinking about was the performance. But knowing Colin, he would have thought, well, up until that point, my performance was on point. Well, and this is sort of how he was playing up until the winning line.
I happen to know who Colin Osborne's favourite footballer is, or was when he was playing. And right now, he's hoping he's Stuart Ripley running down the right wing, ready to send in a lovely cross to Ravanelli in the middle. And so you never know.
So he was a Middlesbrough player.
Yeah. You never know. If Osborne wins, he might do a Ravanelli and take his top off.
I know Ravanelli is. I didn't know who Stuart Ripley was.
Yeah, I think Ravanelli got paid a bit more than Stuart Ripley. I think Ravanelli was the first player to get 40 grand a week at Middlesbrough.
A great era for football, wasn't it?
It was.
120.
Beautiful darts from Osborne. Arron knows firmly that he's in trouble here. He's had nothing to shout about, really. The two misses at the big outs have cost him massively.
100. Colin, you require 142.
Oh, yeah. I better not shout about it too much. Oh, is he going to stay there? Well, he gets more for the undelivered shot if it just flicks to flight and nestles. So I don't see that as a massive miss.
98.
But right now, Monk knows that if he doesn't hit this 120, he may be staring defeat in the face.
I can't remember Osborne's walk-on music, but I hope
Colin,
it was
you require
Motown.
44.
He's on full tops.
It's actually Unbelievable by AMF. Is this an unbelievable week? He is simply unbelievable. It's the Wizards week. For the first time under the roof in the Modus Live Lounge, it's Osborne who goes to Champions Week. He dominates the final, and Monk will have to wait for that elusive weekly title, which just seems not to go his way. Let's have a look at the stats from the final, because it was 97.18 in that final, vastly better in the final match of the week. Monk did some good stuff, but ultimately missing that 161, missing that 155. They cost him big, and it turns out that the Wizard had too much magic in his pocket. A really good week 4. Week 5 is just around the corner. In fact, it will come your way tomorrow. We hope you can join us. But for now, Monk finishes second. He will have to come back potentially. Osborne wins, and he is going to speak to Abby Davis.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed, Nico. Colin, your first title here since February. Just sum up your overriding emotion right now.
I feel great. It's like I said to Paul earlier on, you know, I've come down here and I've qualified for a few Saturdays and probably not done myself justice. And like I said earlier, I think I was due one, and here we are. Brilliant.
Absolutely. And in the semi-final, we have to mention it, 19% checkout success in that one. How did you manage to recompose yourself to be so clinical on the outer ring in that final?
I've played this game a long time, you know, and there's never two games the same. And it was just a case back in there, regroup, you know. And I say when I played Jelle there, and I missed starts to win 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. But I screw up over the line, you know. But it's just like I say, I know I've played long enough. Every game's a different game.
Absolutely, and a word on Arron Monk as well. He's still waiting for that first Super Series title. You could see how much he wanted it tonight. It is certainly going to come for him at some point, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I've known Arron since he was this high, you know, and he's a quality player, you know, world youth champion and everything, and it's just a matter of time. And luckily for me, it wasn't tonight.
Most definitely. And it's been quite a convincing week for you in total. You breezed through Group A, very rarely embroiled in too many worrying results, shall we say. And tonight, and aside from that semi-final, it was very much the same, wasn't it? You seemed to perform at a very consistent level throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I'm in a good place. You know, and sometimes I think the 3 or 4 times I've actually when we were in Southampton and got through on the Wednesday night, and sometimes them 2 days doesn't justify things, you know, because you just sat about, whereas if you're playing the Thursday, Friday, it keeps you sharp. But I've kept myself busy, obviously refreshed, and come in tonight and done the business.
And what's that £5,000 going to go towards?
Well, you never know. You never know.
There we go. Colin Osborne is champion here once again. It is, of course, the final night. He will compete in Champions Week for a chance to win £20,000. We get back underway from 9:30 on Monday morning. We look forward to seeing you then.
The MODUS Super Series, brought to you in association with Bet365, Betfair, Betfred,